Hello and welcome to the Flicksters, the place where two movie geeks bring you all the movie reviews and news you could ever ask for. You can catch us on YouTube, on Castbox, iTunes, and everything else worth looking for. See you there.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Flicksters. It's your guys, Duval and Amma here, bringing you the latest movie reviews, news,
everything. I mean, what more could they want?
I'm speechless. Seriously, Duval, it's so great to be back in the chair again, sitting opposite you. We've been away for, a few days.
Yeah, a few days, been away, but back again.
Again. And you know what? We have got so many bits and pieces of information that we want to get you. So we've got movie news, we've got box office, we got out this week on Blu-ray, we've got new on streaming, we've got anniversary corner, we've obviously got some film reviews in there, and also the show wouldn't be a show without hidden gems. So ladies and gents, thank you for downloading the show. Sit back, relax, enjoy your cold beer or your cold drink or your cold soft drink, whatever it is, and enjoy this Boomba Clark show. Okay, so Duval, I'm not sure whether or not I agree with today's attire.
My attire? What is wrong with my attire?
Because
you tell me. What is wrong with it?
So number one, there's no superhero image on there, and number two, average Joe. No, that's not you.
No. You don't understand. You got to look at it like, there's levels to this. Yeah.
Okay.
Look, what I'm trying to show people is that you don't need to be Superman. Yeah.
He's referring to my t-shirt
or the Dark Knight or Captain America. Every man is a hero.
I love it.
Every average Joe is a hero.
That's how we roll on the Flicksters, ladies and gents. Listen, we're all heroes. No, seriously, Devout, it's so great to be back here. I was away for a little bit, and I was constantly always thinking about the show, missing it. Couldn't wait to get back on the show. So today, what have we got? Let's start off with movie news. So take it away for us. Show us what we've got.
Show us what you got. We got a lot of movie reviews and news and everything and views and twos and and loos and yeah, a lot of news to go through today. So we're gonna hit you up with what is the latest in the world of movies. So okay, starting at the top, DC.
Okay.
Detective Comics. Did you know? Yeah. Did you know?
I love these.
Did you know that Amar's laughing because he knows what that means.
Oh shit.
Did you know that they're in the works right now? They're actually making, they're preparing, they're writing, they're actually getting ready to create I guess a prequel,
right.
Origin story of Alfred Pennyworth
shut the front door.
Batman world.
I mean, this guy Alfred he's special. Was he SAS?
Do you know what? There's more to Alfred than meets the eye. He's not just a butler.
Yeah,
he's not just your average, butler.
Exactly. The reason why I asked that is because in the channel here they show it on channel 5 in the UK. Is it
Gotham?
Gotham?
Is that, yeah.
It's played by Sean Pertwee, I think it is.
Yeah.
He is badass.
Yeah.
Or he knows his shit. He knows about fighting and he knows about firearms and things like that. So I'm assuming the whole backstory is how Alfred became Alfred, but before his life before that.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're going to explore all of that from his upbringing to what made him who he is today. Okay. I guess we're going to see a bit of the before, the during, and the after. Sure. Hopefully, I guess. Well, I don't know how long it's going to go on for, but we're going to see exactly what made him who he is. That's interesting. I think it'll be an interesting take. I mean, the Batman series, the Batman world can be explored from so many angles. Just because it's to do with. I mean, just because Batman is a nucleus, we all know that.
Yeah.
But there are so many other areas to focus on.
Totally.
And I think Alfred is a unique take on that world.
No, totally. I'm looking forward to that one. So what else have we got?
Yeah, so Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix.
Of course.
Great
he listens
Hollywood.
to the show.
He does listen. Yeah, he actually sent us a message last week saying, you guys are shit.
That sounds about right.
It does sound right. But yeah, Joaquin Phoenix, so there are talks at the moment. I think they could be quite late in development, but there are talks that Joaquin Phoenix is set to play an origin role of the Joker.
You know what? Listen. Okay, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this because I'm still getting used to Jared Leto as the Joker, and I want to see what he can do.
Yeah.
And clearly, based on the Suicide Squad film, they filmed a lot of stuff with the Joker in it, but they left it out.
Yeah.
So clearly he can do a lot more. Yeah,
he can, and from what we hear, Jared Leto himself, there was a bit of a minor fallout with the studio because they cut out a lot of his parts, and he works so hard. I'm not sure if you've heard they're not even rumors, they're confirmed rumors. He did a lot of crazy things on set on Suicide Squad. I think he sent a dead rat to
what the
he sent a dead rat to I think Margot Robbie. And he just did a lot of crazy things on set and off set that the Joker would do because he's a method actor.
Yeah.
Look at Dallas Buyers Club. He went in. So whatever he does, he goes in. So he actually took on the Joker's persona, and he done all right. He done all right.
I think so. I mean, but what does it say when the DC Comics or Warner Brothers or whatever, where they say, right, okay, look, we liked you, but we're going to bring in another actor to play that role again. How would that make you feel? I mean, it's
a bit of a kick in the nuts, I think, a little bit. It's almost like saying, okay, you've done all right, but we want to see who else can do it better, maybe. So, but with this, with the so-called Joaquin Phoenix origin story, if it goes ahead, this is going to be outside of the of the story of Suicide Squad, Joker, and the DC universe, as it were. So it's gonna still exist, but not exist in the same world. So they're gonna have a lot more creative freedom to express themselves with that character and do a lot more risky, storylines and so on. So if it does go ahead, it's going to be directed by Todd Phillips, who I believe directed Hangover. But also, big name here, co-produced by Martin Scorsese.
What?
Martin Scorsese.
Oh, mamma mia.
Exactly. Martin Scorsese is a gangster. We know we know how gangster he is, yeah?
Exactly. This is like one of our, he's one of the greats of the industry. I mean, come on, Mean Streets. I mean, like Taxi Driver, Goodfellas. Yeah. Oh God, like
there's so many to mention. Exactly.
I know. My mind's gone blank. Shit.
No, I mean, didn't he do Departed? Was that him? Yeah, that's gangster.
The Departed, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, watch that film if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, so Scorsese likes gangster films.
Yeah.
The Joker has no powers, but what is he? He's a gangster.
Which you alluded to a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's see what happens with this. Also, I mean, it may not happen. Joaquin Phoenix turned down the role of Doctor Strange, so he's also turned down Lex Luthor. So, he does what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, where do you stand on that one? Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange or Joaquin Phoenix?
It's in hindsight, obviously, seeing Cumberbatch do such a good job.
Yeah.
Great job, I should say, actually, as Doctor Strange. I can't see anyone else. Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor. He probably could have done a good job, but Cumberbatch.
I'm just thinking like the height and everything and the persona that he brings to that role. Brilliant.
Yeah, so that's that one. Okay, so DC to the side for today.
Okay.
Let's move on to Marvel. My favorite topic of debate.
Of course.
Jared Leto.
Oh, who's that?
You just mentioned him.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's like you can't always. I don't think you should mix with DC and Marvel. But
this guy, he's like he's playing the game here.
Exactly. So there's talks that Jared Leto will star in the Michael Morbius movie. We did talk about Michael Morbius a few weeks ago.
Now, fill in the gaps for our listeners here. Tell us a bit about Morbius. Where does he fit in the whole Marvel universe?
Michael Morbius is... I use the word gangster quite a lot, but I mean, in this case, he is gangster, but not in a gangster, in a gangster way.
Yeah.
He is basically, Michael Morbius was a guy who was involved in genetics and all that kind of stuff,
Right.
And he was, I guess he was infected by a genetic chemical that altered his DNA and turned him into a vampiric, is that a word? Vampiric creature. So he's obviously got superhuman strength. In the comics and cartoons, he acts like a vampire. He actually sucks the blood of people to survive and to gain his strength. But he's a villain. He's a villainous character, but he came of good intentions.
I was going to say, is he an anti-hero or is he like a straight out?
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to play him. I mean, if the film was going to be about him, I would think it may be an anti-hero type thing, as in like, you know, like Venom perhaps, because we know Venom can go either way. So if the film is going to be about him, we can't kill him off, can we? So
exactly.
I mean, yeah.
Now, one question I have for you, Deval, is which superhero is he the most aligned to? Like, where does he feature in the most? Like in the comics and in the animation? Where do we see him the most?
I've seen him the most in like Spider-Man.
Right, okay.
I've seen him, and it is a Sony Pictures movie, so
it makes sense.
It's aligned with the Spider-Man world. So I've seen him fight Spider-Man, and there was a moment in the cartoons, I think, in the comics where Michael Morbius and Spider-Man are fighting, doing their thing, and I think Spider-Man gets infected with the thing, whatever it is, and Spider-Man or Peter Parker's DNA is altered, and he starts to get all these legs. He starts to get all these legs growing out of his back like a real spider. So it accelerates his the spider bite that he got. It accelerates that and turns him more into a spider. He becomes more ferocious. He loses his humanity.
Oh,
so
that'd be great to see on film.
Yeah, that could be crazy. So in a way, with Michael Morbius, he loses his humanity and becomes more and more like a vampire of sorts. So I can imagine that they will get quite scientific with it.
Sure,
you know, with how, you know, maybe how he needs to suck blood from humans, like the hemoglobin and stuff like that, and you know, all that. So
you're getting all scientific over here.
Telling you.
Oh my gosh.
Telling you.
I also noticed over here, you in our show notes. This is how well prepared we are over here. Like Deval's written the show notes. So moving into the kind of the whole Marvel thing.
Yeah,
you've written here Captain Marvel and suit.
Yeah,
tell us
Captain
about this.
Marvel. Yeah, Captain Marvel. So Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, aka Miss Marvel, aka Gangster.
This is another gangster, by the way.
Dress. So there's been a picture of Samuel L. Jackson, who's going to be in the next Captain Marvel movie in February.
Right.
He's got a picture of Captain Marvel in her sort of, you know, her garb, her superhero garb, and she's got the suit, the Captain Marvel suit, which is I think it's red, black, and a bit of yellow. And as part of her suit in the comics more recently, she's got like a Mohican type hairstyle, and her helmet sort of goes in her head, and her hair comes out the top, and it's quite powerful. I love the way it looks, and he's got that on his t-shirt, and it's sort of alluding to the fact that in the movies we may get this you know, this look of Captain Marvel, which I hope is the case, because if she comes out in that uniform with that helmet and her hair, you know, all the mohawk and so on, and you know, and she goes binary and she just goes crazy, I'll lose myself. Literally, I will lose myself if I see that. So I hope that is the case. You know, whether we get it in Captain Marvel or we get it in you know, Avengers 4, I need to see that.
You know what, I love what they're doing with this whole kind of, with the whole Captain Marvel. Like, I think she'll be the mantle now. They're going to kind of, they're really pushing for this.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting. And you mentioned about binary. Her powers are beyond like what we've already seen, right?
Yeah, she is technically, I mean, apart from the Hulk, strength-wise, she's either on par with the Hulk as he's in his current stage, because he can get World War Hulk. That's another level. But in his current stage, she can fight him, and she's also got powers of flight. She can go in space without air. She's got she can absorb energy and channel it back. You know, she can double the energy and channel it back. Her powers derive from a Kree person called Marvale.
Which we spoke about.
We spoke about a little while ago,
right?
Exactly. But we keep talking about Miss Marvel because she's going to be great. But so watch out for Miss Marvel, guys. Watch out for her.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, and also It 2.
Hello, Georgie. It 2. I mean, I'm a big fan of It. the one that was just released. What was it? Was it this year or last year?
No, 2017.
2017.
I
liked it. It was it had its jumpy moments, and I thought the actor who played the It was really good. He turned up in Deadpool.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Deadpool 2, sorry. So so what's the latest news with this?
Yeah, so It 2 starts filming. And that means it's hopefully going to be out for 2019 good. As originally, proposed, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
So we're going to get obviously in It 1, it was the kids.
Yep.
They were in their early teens, I believe, or something like that. Yeah. And just like the original story, Stephen King's story, and the miniseries in the 80s.
Yeah.
Or was it the 90s? Early 90s, yeah. The kids grow up. So it's going to be 28 years later, I believe. So we're going to get the adult version of these kids. Sure. And Jessica Chastain has signed on to play Beverly Marsh, who's the redhead girl.
The redheaded girl, yeah.
Yeah, she was the only girl in the group, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So it was rumored that she was going to play her because she's worked with the director before previously. Okay. I think in Mama. I think it was Mama. I think was it Mama? I could be getting mixed up, but yeah. So they've worked together before. So. Yeah, she's gonna be. I think she should be great.
She's gonna be fantastic.
She's perfect for the role, and
she's. What did we see her in last? Did we see her in something? She hasn't been in any Marvel movie, right? No,
no. Not that I. No, I don't think she has. No. I mean, I saw her in 13 Hours of Benghazi. That was a good film that came out.
You're absolutely right.
A few years ago. She was good in that.
Molly's Game.
Molly's Game. That was our end of last year. I've not seen it.
I've not seen it. Based on a true story.
It was Oscar nominated for script or something. Was
That's
it?
right. Yeah. So she's a great actor.
Yeah,
she's a great actor.
She's good.
Yeah. I also see on here that you mentioned M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan
is back at San Diego Comic-Con. What is he showing there?
Yeah, he's going to tease. The word is that he's going to tease the trailer for Glass.
Okay, I can't wait. I want to see this.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, Glass. I mean, it was Unbreakable and Split. It's like Split brought it all back to say, okay, this is the same world. We saw Bruce Willis at the end of Split.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we're gonna get a trailer, I think that's in July, San Diego Comic-Con.
So, and do we know anything about this storyline? So obviously we'll see Bruce Willis back again. We'll see Glass, who is Samuel L. Jackson. And Split, but which of the Split guys? Because of his 21 personalities.
Yeah, we've got 21 personalities to go. 21 personalities to go.
But I mean, it's I think there's a lot of buzz around this movie, and that stemmed from the final scene, the end credit scene of Split.
Yeah.
Just the linking of these two worlds, which was quite clever. So yeah, that's a really good shout. So
yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be really good.
Okay, and Doctor Strange 2 gets the green light.
I'm so glad.
So glad. I mean, it was always going to happen. Doctor Strange 1 I think was a good film.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is a great character. In Infinity War, he stood out.
He did, didn't he?
He really stood out. He was one of the leaders, just like in the comics.
Yep.
So they need more Doctor Strange. We need more Doctor Strange. I need more Doctor Strange.
Exactly.
So,
and then obviously this is going to come way after Infinity 4.
Yeah.
After Spider-Man?
Spider-Man Homecoming 2, or Spider-Man 2, or whatever it's going to be called. It's going to be 2019. I think it's July. It should be. So this could be a 2020 film, possibly.
Yeah.
That was always, usually Marvel. It's usually three years between sequels. Usually,
right.
This would, if it was 2020, it would be four years. But
and obviously, there's so many questions about this. But I'm assuming Avengers 4 will tie up the whole thing about. The Snapchat.
Yeah.
Snapchat. As you call it. So we'll know exactly, have these people died?
Yeah.
Are they around or are they in another realm?
Yeah, which is what I believe. But
which is what...
For them to get sequels, I mean, he's got to come back. So they're almost like weakening what just happened.
Exactly. And we spoke about this like a few days ago, and we posted this on our Twitter page, which you can follow, ladies and gents, by the way, about Tom Holland. What did he mean to do this? We don't know, but he put a little thing up on Twitter with the title of the new Spider-Man 2 movie.
Yeah.
A Long Way From Home. or Far Away From Home. I'm not sure. So it's out there. Spider-Man 2 is coming. Tom Holland is going to be in it. So somehow after Avengers 4, we'll know the fate of these characters.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll know. Yeah. Looking forward to getting to find out.
Yeah. What else have we got?
The Shining.
The Shining.
The Shining.
Okay, The Shining.
Yeah, so the sequel. Oh, wow.
God, when... I mean, that was made in what?
1981, I think, was it?
Gosh.
Or something like that.
And why now?
Why not? I mean, Hollywood seems to be running out of fresh ideas and they want to, bring things back.
And this brings it back down to Ready Player One. Do you remember the scene where they for anyone who hasn't seen Ready Player One, I urge you to go see it. There's so many movie references, and in that film, they reference The Shining a lot.
Yeah.
Like a hell of a lot.
I was surprised how much came into it, actually.
Yeah. So please do watch that. And that just shows you like how popular that film is and how much it affected Steven Spielberg for him to use it in his film. So this is interesting. So who's going to be, what's the setup here?
Yeah. So I hear that Ewan McGregor will be in The Shining.
Okay.
And also Mission Impossible Fallout star Rebecca Ferguson,
right? Okay,
is set to star in the film as well. So, some good characters,
So what I read was that Ewan McGregor is going to play the older version of Danny. So the little boy,
the boy in the bike,
Oh my so Danny,
gosh.
He's going to play, and he still has the power. He still has the Shining.
Oh my!
So he has the power.
Gosh.
I know. So where this leads him, or what happens? They could link it back to the hotel from The Shining. Who knows?
Oh my!
He has to go back to the hotel.
Crazy.
I know. I can't wait for that one. And finally, I see here that you've got something about Jim Carrey. Tell us about that one.
That's a typo. It's meant to say Sharon Watts.
Yeah,
Jim Carrey is set to play Dr. Robotnik in the movie
This
Sonic
cracks me up.
the Hedgehog. I still don't know what
we spoke about this in episode 6.
Yeah, I don't know how.
What's he gonna do? Like, how's he gonna do it?
He's gonna have to put on some weight and just like put an elastic band on his waist so that all the weight stays on his belly and his legs stay thin.
This is, I mean, of all the film ideas, like Sonic the Hedgehog, it's just like I'm still waiting. Like, listen, I'm not gonna pass judgment. Let me see the film.
Yeah.
And let me laugh a bit, at it and with it and whatever. So yeah, that's going to be so funny. So Jim Carrey is going to play Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
He's a goofy character. He can play a goofy character. And he's, Jim Carrey's been around for donkeys. Look at him in The Mask.
Oh man, yeah.
All the zany characters that he's played. I know he can also do it serious too. But if anyone can, I'm sure he can. So let's see what happens.
Exactly. Let's see what happens. So no, thanks for that. Thanks for all the movie news there, Deval. That's fantastic. I thought we'd now move on to the box office top 10, and starting at number 10, we've got one of our favorites. Blade Runner. It's still after 7 weeks now.
Wow.
Because we first mentioned this 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gents, Blade Runner, the director's cut, is still in the number 10. So
hold on. Are you telling me we mentioned this 7 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And 7 weeks ago, that's the only film to still be in the top 10. Every other film has come and gone.
Can you effing believe that?
I can't believe it, actually. But then again, hold on. I think Avengers is the only other one that's been there 7 weeks, but that's big. So Blade Runner and Avengers Infinity War.
Come on.
That's big.
For a film that was out in 80
something. Yeah. That's big.
All right. Okay. So we've got a new entry over here, which is at number 9, The Happy Prince.
Who, Prince Harry? He just got married to Meghan Markle. He's got to be happy, isn't he?
Who wouldn't be happy?
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so I don't think you've seen that.
Nah.
I haven't seen it. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, please send us your reviews. Okay, so number 8 is Book Club.
Nah.
Which
I'll just say nah.
Okay. So at number 7, Sherlock Gnomes.
Oh my gosh. I almost was going to watch this the other day just to satisfy you, Almost.
I'm still waiting for a review of this one from you, Deval. Like, come on, the viewers are waiting. I'm waiting. Okay, so we didn't see that one. Number 6, a film we did see, and it's still in the top 10. It's Avengers: Infinity War. I mean, and, come on.
You know, I've got a confession to make.
Hang on. How many times have you seen it now?
12. I saw it last week.
Oh my God.
I had to do it. I had to do it.
Okay.
I had to do it.
Did you notice anything the 12th time that you didn't notice the first time?
Yeah. Thanos has pretty eyes. His eyes glisten.
Okay.
Like when he gets a bit angry, he opens his eyes and they glisten.
Yeah.
And he's got some nice eyes.
Oh wow, yeah. And just kind of the ending, is it still as powerful as what it was when you first saw it?
Yeah.
You know, the whole
it's still as powerful, and the fact that it happened so quickly, you don't get a chance to, even the camera, it sort of pans to it ever so slightly, and just as his finger gets in frame, it snaps. You don't have time to settle to witness it. It just happens.
Man.
It's great.
That's fantastic. Okay, so sitting at number 5, all alone, is Solo, a Star Wars story.
Yeah, that's going to slip down, I reckon.
Does that sound about right?
It sounds about right to me, yeah. It's going to keep slipping down. Next time we talk about it, it'll be 8th, I reckon.
8th, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen the film, go out and watch it. Or if you don't want to see it and just listen to a review, we mention it in episode 3. Episode 4, sorry. Episode 4. So go download the show and have a listen and see if you want to watch it. So sitting at number 3, a film which we both saw last couple of weeks ago, which was Hereditary. And you saw it again, didn't you?
I saw it again, yeah.
And what did you think second time round?
Yeah, so after seeing it the first time, I loved it and did a bit of research about it and stuff. We talked about it.
Yeah.
And I went to see it again with all that research in my head.
Sure.
And it kind of made me more scared, because I thought that maybe if I watch it again, I'm gonna turn all crazy myself. But yeah, I noticed a few more things that, you know, that I wouldn't have seen the first time.
Yeah.
And I guess it enhanced my viewing experience.
Sure, okay.
So I loved it second time round.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And I don't often go to the cinema to see a horror film twice. And I did.
That's a great endorsement, actually. Yeah. Like, you know, you enjoyed it like even more second time round.
Yeah.
So fantastic.
There's one thing that happened in it that is a bit funny and stupid.
Tell me.
But just without being too spoilery, towards the end, a character, we know who the character is, but a male character, he witnesses something really crazy. Yeah, he witnesses another character taking off their own head. Yeah, like literally with a wire, taking off their own head, and he stands there shocked, looking at it.
Yeah,
and he's kind of like, he's shocked.
He's trembling.
He's trembling,
move.
But
well, actually,
it's until he looks to the right and he sees these naked people, and then he screams. So you're telling me, seeing someone decapitate themselves isn't as scary as seeing some naked people in the corner,
stark naked with balls hanging out. What
that's when he loses his shit. So for me, I actually like laughed in the cinema when I saw that for the second time, because I thought, wow, you know,
you know what, I could picture that scene in my head. Right, you're absolutely true. Go out and watch it, ladies and gents, if you want to feel shit scared and psychologically messed up for a few days afterwards. Okay, so number 2, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? How many T-Rexes did we give this one?
I think we gave it 6.5.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Like that, yeah, I think I gave it a bit less, about 5. I think for me.
Yeah, I think a standalone film, not the best for me.
Yeah,
I think the reason it's still there is the Jurassic carries the weight. People hear Jurassic, they carry those feelings from 1993 and you know, all of that, also from 3 years ago, Jurassic World, and I think that's carrying it through at the moment. So, and
I think we agreed on like, you know, the set pieces, the volcano scene, which is fantastic. You know, the obviously the CGIs, they should get better and better every year these films come out. I think where it fell short was I don't know, it just didn't have the new stuff, the stuff that I was looking for.
Yeah.
But that's personally because I've followed this from 93. You know, I want to kind of be entertained a bit more. But I mean, as a Jurassic Park film, it's, you know, people will love it, kids will love it.
Yeah.
And the franchise. Oh, and obviously, if you haven't seen it, stay until the end credits, because there's a little bit extra for you there. So stay, ladies and gents, if you haven't seen it, watch that. And this week's number 1 film in the UK is Ocean's 8. So a new entry there, and this is a film that we'll speak about later on in the show. So so a couple of new entries in there. I mean, what do you think about that top 10 box office?
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I kind of not too many surprises there for me, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So ladies and gents, that's the UK's box office top 10. We'll now move over to what's on Blu-ray. And Deval, you've got a few films that you want to talk about, right?
Yeah. So there's 3 films here that are released this week on Blu-ray and online and so on. Lady Bird, first one. So Lady Bird, starring Saoirse Ronan. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Saoirse Ronan, and great young actress. She was in Hannah. She's been in a load of films, and she's like, she's probably going to be around for a long time and be nominated for a lot more awards. Very versatile. Lady Bird came out last year, and it was Oscar nominated. And a lot of people were talking about it. I think box office success wasn't the greatest, but we know a lot of Oscar nominated films are not always the greatest box office successes.
Exactly.
But this film, it's I'll be honest. Yeah, I was gonna as I was talking, I was thinking, okay, should I bullshit and say I've seen it? But I was meant to see it. I ain't seen it yet, but I'm going to see it now because I'm going to get a good copy of this on DVD.
I mean, look, I haven't seen it, but I know the buzz around it and specifically her performance. It was meant to be like really amazing. So
yeah, I think she calls herself Lady Bird, isn't it?
I think
she gives her name. Gives the name to herself, Lady Bird.
And is it about her relationship with her mum?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's definitely a film which I would like to see because Saoirse Ronan, like you mentioned, Hannah.
Yeah,
I thought she was great in that.
Yeah,
I thought she was great in Brooklyn. She's been in other stuff as well.
Yeah,
like an Ed Sheeran video, even in the Ed Sheeran video.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
The Galway Girl, is it?
I ain't seen it. I don't know.
Okay,
is it?
I mean, yeah,
she's from Ireland, isn't she?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
of course,
I mean, she's great. I think whatever she does, she's absolutely great. So, she's really believable. She's brings a lot of emotion to her characters. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that film.
Okay.
So what else have we got on Blu-ray?
Game Night.
Remind me of this one.
It's a comedy starring Rachel McAdams.
Okay.
And what's his name? The funny guy. He was in he's been in so many comedies. His name escapes me now, but I should know. It'll come to me. But I'll just talk about the film and it'll come to me. Jason Bateman, that's the one.
Jason Bateman.
Yeah, so they're the two main sort of stars. Also, Jesse Plemons, he's wicked in this film. Oh man, that guy, his face. Oh damn, that guy, his face. It
sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah, so Game Night is about a couple who have game nights with other couples,
right?
And everyone just comes round, similar to what I used to do here. I used to have games night. People come round,
of course,
drinks, party, a few good games and stuff like that. And during one of these game nights, something goes things go tits up.
So what, does it turn dark or?
It's comedy.
Okay,
it's comedy throughout. It's actually good comedy.
All right, okay.
Like I was sitting there, I watched it by myself. I was laughing.
That's good.
It was a good, solid film. For me, comedy wise, I'm giving it nearly an 8, I reckon.
Ah, that is good.
It was a good comedy. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I literally enjoyed it.
I really like Jason Bateman. I mean, he's been around for a while and it's so funny, right? I'm not sure if you remember this, but back in late 80s, he was in Teen Wolf 2.
Was he?
They did a sequel to Teen Wolf and I loved that film, Teen Wolf. I watched it in cinema.
Yeah.
So whereas Teen Wolf was the basketball, in Teen Wolf 2, Jason Bateman, he gets the wolf gene and he becomes a werewolf.
Oh.
And he is boxing.
Oh, okay.
So he's a boxer.
Oh my gosh.
So I've loved Jason Bateman from back in the 80s.
Yeah. Now he's good in this. He's quite he comes across quite rigid and a bit, stiff, but he's funny in the same way.
Yeah.
So in this film, a lot goes, tits up. A lot of crazy things happen. They try to fix it and getting worse shit. Jesse Plemons plays a cop. He's one of the best characters in the film.
Cool.
Yeah, he's
I'll
wicked
watch it
in
for
it.
that.
But just guys, if you watch it and do watch it, make sure you stay till after the credits. There's an excellent post-credit scene, which for me is a cherry on the cake.
Oh, brilliant.
Literally.
Okay,
I don't know why I stayed. I think I was in a cinema and I don't know why I stayed. Something told me to stay.
So you didn't know there was...
I had no idea. And I stayed and I saw it and I was like, this has just made the film for me. It was so
brilliant.
funny. So funny.
I'll watch that one.
But yeah, watch it.
All right. So what else have we got?
The next one we have is You Were Never Really Here.
I thought I was.
Nah, you're a mirage. Just an audio recording. He's not really here. It's just me who does the show, guys. I'll be honest, yeah?
Sorry. Tell us about this movie because it sounds interesting.
Yeah, so Joaquin Phoenix, who we mentioned earlier in our news, stars... I haven't seen the films. I can't talk about it in that perspective, but from what I know, it's a really, really good film. It's directed by the same director who did We Need to Talk About Kevin. So that alone tells you this film... it's going to be good.
Okay, I've got to watch it based on that.
Yeah, so I'm going to watch it. I need to watch it. I tried to watch it a few weeks ago. Never got the chance, but you were never really here.
Yeah.
Even the title.
I know.
Like, We Need to Talk About Kevin. You were never really here. These titles are statements.
Enigmatic.
Exactly.
Like, what the hell?
Who was never really here?
Yeah.
Why do we need to talk about Kevin? Do you know what I mean?
What if Kevin is... Does Kevin turn up in this one? Who knows?
Who knows? But
right, so those two... Lady Bird, for me, all three films, actually, I'm sold. So
Yeah.
I'll watch all three of those films. Okay, so that's what's out on Blu-ray. New on streaming and trailers. So what have we got on streaming services?
Clever girl.
This is going to kill me.
This is never going to stop. This is never going to stop.
Listen, this gag's been going on for the last month or something.
Clever girl.
You're kidding. So
yeah, Jurassic Park is on Netflix now.
Oh my God.
It's on Netflix.
Okay, brilliant.
So I think after all that talk, they heard our podcast and they thought, Netflix thought we need to get Jurassic Park on now. The guys at Flixsters are talking about it. It's going to be the best time to show it. Let's get it on Netflix.
Of course. So we helped in Netflix.
Yeah.
So Netflix, if you want to give us a bit of a cut, please.
Yeah, give us some free subscription,
Yeah. What else is on there?
Star Trek Beyond. That's on Netflix now. That's the third Star Trek.
Right.
The one with Idris Elba. Am I getting it mixed up? That is one, isn't it? With Idris Elba.
I don't remember Idris Elba in this.
He's the baddie.
Oh my
you got Star Trek, the first one. You got Into Darkness. That's the one with Khan, yeah?
That was with Benedict.
And then
with
Beyond
Doctor Strange.
is the third one.
Oh my, yeah, you're
Idris Elba.
right. Okay,
yeah.
And you know who wrote this one? Simon Pegg wrote this.
Yeah. He did. Yeah.
Gosh, so
and he was in it too. Yeah.
And he was in it too as well. So was this? Is it as good as I can't remember?
I didn't like it.
I can't remember.
I didn't like. Do you know what? Have you seen it?
I can't remember it. That's
Maybe
the thing.
you have. I didn't like it, to be honest. I thought it was kind of dry.
So that means they haven't really taken
it. For the first time watching a big blockbuster sci-fi, there were certain parts of it I was watching and I could see they were on a set. I could just see they were on a set. It's weird. I don't know. It took me out of the film. I could see that it was a set and things just didn't work. The film... it just wasn't the best film. I think Idris Elba was wasted in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I did like the reboot, the first one.
Yeah. And the Red Matter.
Yeah. Oh man.
Wicked.
And Chris Pine as James T. Kirk, I thought he was really, really good.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's Star Trek Beyond. And what else have we got?
Yeah, so there's a series on Netflix called Unsolved. And it talks about the Tupac and Biggie murders and the fact that, they're pretty much unsolved, but there's a lot of politics involved and, there's talk about people knowing who did it or police cover-ups and all sorts. There's even a movie similar to this coming out. I believe it's this year. Don't quote me. I will find out for you guys next time. But with Johnny Depp and Forrest Whitaker. There's a movie and it does talk about this, coming out soon.
And there was a film just a couple of years ago or a year ago or something out about Tupac.
All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me.
Currently on Netflix now, which I saw about 2 months ago. Not a bad film. It's also got Michonne from The Walking Dead.
Oh, brilliant.
Or Okoye from Black Panther.
Yep.
So she plays Tupac's mum in it. But this sort of series, I've not seen it yet. I'm going to watch it. I saw it on my Netflix list and I thought, that looks all right. So Unsolved. Will it be solved? I doubt it, but
Will we get to the bottom of it?
Yeah, as long as you hear some Biggie and Tupac music on the way, it's all right.
Yeah,
it was all a dream.
If we get the music, yeah, exactly. It was all a dream. Okay, so tell us about some of these trailers, new trailers out.
Man. Predator. The Predator.
Listen, look. Me and Predator, we go way back.
When that film comes on TV, if I'm flicking, the flicking stops, yeah?
I'm watching that film.
Exactly.
Now, The Predator came out in 87 or 88.
87, yeah.
87. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's got Apollo Creed in it.
Yeah.
Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
It was written by Shane Black, directed by John McTiernan, who...
Wow, look at you.
Who went on to direct, I want to say Die Hard.
I think you could be right.
Or one of the Die Hards.
Yeah. I think it could be the first one, I think.
When this film, right, when I saw this film, I was like, this is wicked. Yeah. I love this film.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just like sci-fi. It's like action. It's got an alien killing people, and you know, you got the fight back and everything. I thought it was like really, really good.
A gangster alien that no one can stop. I mean, the gun on his shoulder and the noises he makes,
and the 3-dot, the way it just kind of like
it's crazy, and the way he goes like camouflage. It looks like water,
and it's got the best line in movie history.
Get to the chopper. So glad I got that right.
Listen, classic.
Get to the chopper, but she says in all these films, yeah,
exactly. So
there's also some subtle ones in there. Exactly. You know, I forgot his name, but he's the guy who looks kind of moody, the dark skinned guy.
Yeah.
And it's a bit where Carl Weathers has got a spider on his shoulder, and he kills it, and he says thanks, and he goes, anytime.
And then
I've got a meme I send out. If someone says thanks to me, I just send it back anytime. There's so many good memes from that film.
I know. And then the Predator, he picks up on the sound.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird the way he keeps replaying.
Yeah.
I love that film. That's brilliant. So,
funny story as well with the original Predator. I know we're sort of going off track here.
No,
but
please do.
Did you know that Jean-Claude Van Damme played the Predator for a short while of filming?
You are kidding me.
And he thought that he was going to have a prominent role where you'll see his face and we'll know it's him, Jean-Claude Van Damme. But he realised it wasn't going to be the case, so he left the role early in filming. And they replaced him with another actor obviously didn't mind not showing his face.
Yeah.
Taller guy, bigger guy as well. So there is YouTube footage where you see Jean-Claude Van Damme in all this camo like Predator
the garb. Footage is so funny.
I know.
It's like you think they're taking the piss, but this footage is actually the real footage in it's like before there was a green screen or whatever it was. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, I read about this as well. Jean-Claude Van Damme in the Predator. In Predator. Yeah. Okay, so tell us about. So what is it?
What was it? Trailer. Sorry.
The trailer. So tell us about the trailer.
Yeah, the second trailer was released literally a few days ago. It does look good.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, usually I don't watch second trailers of films, but I'm forced to now because of the flicksters ruining my fun.
Exactly.
But yeah, the trailer looks good. I mean, the cast, they got the guy from Narcos, and he was the baddie in the Wolverine, the blonde guy. He's in it.
Right.
You got the guy from who I still think looks like 50 Cent, but the guy that was in Moonlighting. Moonlighting had 3 characters that were like a young boy, teenager, and an older guy.
Yep.
The older guy, the one that looks like 50 Cent.
Okay,
he's in it. You got the guy from Black Panther, who is Michael B. Jordan's dad when he was younger.
Oh,
he's in it.
Right.
You got Olivia Munn, who was in X-Men Apocalypse, she's good. She's in it. You got a few other people in it that I can't think of right now, but the Predator's in it, and there's from what I see, there's 2 Predators.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, there's the Predator, who we all know, and there's some crazy evolved looking Predator.
So I mean, obviously I don't know much about the film, but where in the whole Predator
timeline
anthology, where does this stand? Is this a direct sequel to the Predator? Does it take into consideration Predator 2 with Danny Glover? Or
I don't know, to be honest, 100%, but I think it comes after Predator 2.
Right. Okay.
Because I think Alien vs Predator is like wiped away. That's wiped away. But also we had the Predators.
Oh yeah.
Which was set off world. Remember? I thought it was
on their planet.
it was somewhere, because remember there was a scene where Adrian Brody and his clique, they got to a mountain, sort of a cliff edge, and they looked up in the sky thinking it was going to be Earth, and they see planets in the distance.
You know what? I'm going to watch that again.
And then you realise they're not on Earth. So I don't know if this film would take that into consideration, because it doesn't need to. If it was set off Earth, maybe it doesn't. But at the same time, maybe, you know, that was in 2010, 2018 now. So, you know, maybe, you know, they've got a deeper knowledge of it, so it may take it into consideration.
And bringing it back full circle, this new Predator film is written and directed by Shane Black.
Yeah, he was in Predator 1.
Yeah, and he wrote it.
Yeah.
And for our listeners out there, Shane Black also directed a big Marvel film,
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3,
which I hated.
Yeah.
So me and Shane Black, he's got some work to do to get me on his side, you know.
But you know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, because he did bring us Predator and he did bring us Lethal Weapon.
Okay.
So I'm like, come on, like, you know, he can do something. He can. So I know what you're saying. I know what you mean. You know, he could mess it up, but we'll see. Okay, what other trailer we got there? Okay,
so we've got First Man.
Tell us about this one.
First Man, so the Apollo 11 mission to the moon, 1969. So there's, you know, the space race between Americans and the Russians get the first man on the moon.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Russians beat the Americans to get the first person in space.
Absolutely.
But Americans wanted to go that step further. Kennedy made that pledge in the 60s, saying, you know, we will go to space and do all the things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. You know, so
this is talent. Like, oh my God, this is wasted talent here.
He made that pledge, so they got to the moon. You know, so this film will star Ryan Gosling.
Oh, okay.
So he'll be Neil Armstrong.
Brilliant.
Also, we're going to have John Berthel, the Punisher, is going to be in this film. Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
You're going to be punishing in space.
Exactly.
Trust me. So I'm not sure who he plays, but he's going to be in the film.
I think he's going to bring a bit of edge to it. Whatever he does, he brings that grit Trust and me. That kind of nastiness to it.
He will.
I think this is going to be a great film. Do we know who's directing this?
Oh, it's going to be Damien Chazelle from... La La Land. That's why Gosling's obviously linked as well. So
and what was the one before La La
as well?
Land?
No, he didn't do Moonlighting. Sorry,
Whiplash.
Whiplash, that's the one. Yeah, Whiplash.
Okay, so this guy, I mean, come on, he's an Oscar. No, he didn't win the Oscar.
No, that's the confusion. Sorry, they thought they won it, and then Moonlight won it.
Yeah, Moonlight won the Oscar, but I mean, he was nominated.
Yeah.
Okay,
quite a young guy as well, but yeah. So
what? Mid 20s, late 20s.
I think he's touching 30, I think, or something. Yeah, so young for what he's doing and for his success so far.
Deval, when are we going to get our movie made?
Boy, you know, let's do this. Let's do it, guys. Let's just give us some funding. Yeah, we got a camera, we got a set,
we 2 actors.
But yeah, so this film, so yeah, it's going to be out in October, and so I mean, First Man, I think it's gonna sort of tell the story of, you know, Neil Armstrong, who was the first man to set foot on the moon. You know, one small step for man, one large step for humanity, or something. One big step for mankind. That's it. One giant leap for mankind. So Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, who was also second man. But people forget, actually, there was another guy called Michael Collins.
You know what? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Michael Collins was the third man, because it was a three-man mission, Apollo 11. Michael Collins was the driver. Obviously, when you step out of your car and you go into the venue, someone's got to look after the car.
Exactly.
So Michael Collins had to stay on the sort of ship and keep moving.
Oh.
Go around the block and come around and pick him up when it was time to go.
Nobody wants that job.
Exactly. So he's the unsung hero that was behind the wheel and it kept things ticking.
Sure.
But a bit of trivia news, I mean, or hidden news, but you know that image of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin putting the American flag into the moon, you know? That's a massive, massive statement for America. They went there to mark the Americanness on the moon and all that. But as they left and they pressed the button to press the engines to blast off and so on, the flag fell down. The flag, the thrusters caused the flag to fall down.
Oh my!
So the flag isn't like
it's not there.
It's there, but it's just flat. So it's good that they took pictures of it before.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? But,
now, there's, I mean, I'm not sure if you know about this. I'm sure you do. But there's a whole thing on the internet about it being, it was a setup. It's fake. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure whether or not you believe it or not, but I mean, there's a documentary on there, out there in the internet. Yeah. It's out there somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've heard a lot about it because a lot of the scientifics are. So you're going to say something? Sorry.
I was going to say, like, you know, what is it? Do you believe it? Do you don't believe it? Is there any credence to it, or
there is and there isn't? I mean, I personally, when I was younger, I loved my space and I believed it growing up. Whether it's true or not, if they did fake it, they did a good job. That's the way I'm seeing it. They did a really good job, and they deserve some credit either way. An Oscar, something. There's all like scientifics behind the light, behind the physics behind them actually going to the moon, the way the dust moves, and all kinds of stuff. Just because zero gravity, how things act, and all that kind of stuff. And that's all being scrutinized to a T. And real clever people out there said no, they weren't there. But I don't care. If they did it, they did it. They didn't, they didn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
I think this film will go with, like, obviously it's not going to touch on that. Maybe not, but I doubt it. But probably the life of Buzz Aldrin and the actual mission, what they had to go through, and they didn't. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, the guys that actually had to get out the ship and step on the moon. They didn't have life insurance, and Michael Collins actually, they didn't have life insurance to cover their trip to the moon. Yeah, because I mean, who's gonna cover people that? Felt that the insurance companies felt they were going to die, so they're not going to cover them. So they signed a lot of memorabilia. Did a lot of memorabilia, a lot of marketing, and that memorabilia, if they were to die, their families would sell to raise money to keep their families afloat. That's something that not many people know about. No. But yeah, so that, that's something that the sacrifice that they knew that they might not come back, and that they were planning for their family's future by having all this memorabilia. It's crazy. It's something to think about. So Apollo 11, that was 1969, right? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. All right. So next year is going to be the 50th anniversary. Oh wow! Yeah. Here's just a question before we move on to the next section. Why haven't humans been up there to the moon again in 50 years? Yeah, I think, and this a lot of the conspiracy theorists, I think some sort of agreement was made with the inhabitants on the dark side of the moon that the humans shouldn't go back to the moon and screw up their world. Okay. That's why the humans ain't gone back. That sounds crazy, but it could be true. It could be true. Because technology is so advanced. There's this, the actual technology that they had to take people to the moon. You got more on your mobile phone right now. Exactly. So they could go there in a heartbeat. Yeah. But they haven't. Think about it. Why? This is it. This is what racks my brain. Dark side of the moon is undiscovered. The moon is tidally locked with the Earth. Yeah. So you're always seeing the same side of the moon. The moon doesn't spin like that. Because it's the gravity of the Earth that holds it in place. So you always see the same side. The moon goes round. So the dark side of the moon is it's uncharted. Right. What's there? Yeah. Now you're thinking. That's another podcast, mate. So we'll leave it at that one. Okay. So thanks for that. I can't wait for those films there. There's a lot of them I want to see. So moving on now to Anniversary Corner. And oh my God, but I love this part of the show because there are so many films on there which I think, oh God, it's been that long, it's been this long, whatever. So what have we got first up? Wow. So what we have is Benjamin Button, 2008. Oh my God. That's 10 years. 10 years. Yeah, 10 years, just like that. And not only that, I got another film starring Cate Blanchett. Yeah. This woman, we've got to give her a mention after forgetting her name. Exactly, sure. Like she's following us. Yeah, it follows. Yeah. So I remember watching this Benjamin Button and the whole kind of hype surrounding the movie. The baby that starts off old. Yeah, and weird. As it grows up, it's growing younger. Yeah. I mean, what a premise. The curious case. It's. And there are conditions that are not obviously the same as that, but something similar where the cells of someone, sort of gets younger or somehow doesn't age the same. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. There is, and you think to yourself, this could happen. Yeah, like in some, in some timeline. Yeah, this thing could happen. But
it's a
as a
great
piece
story.
of film,
It was a great, I mean, romantic. I mean, the relationship with Kate Blanchett. I mean, imagine meeting the love of your life, and they're older, and you have to wait for them to get to a certain age before you meet.
Yeah.
You've got a really small gap to enjoy life on the same page.
Yeah.
And after that, you just, you know, they get younger, you get older, you drift apart. It's almost like two ships on the sea, you know, and you're passing on the ship on the ocean of life, and you meet just for a glancing brief moment. You know, you catch eyes, you lock souls, and then the tide pulls you apart again, and you see each other drift off into the distance.
I'm gonna shed a tear. This is heartbreaking. Oh my God!
Don't shed a tear. Don't cry.
But you're absolutely right. It's quite sad, isn't it? Like at the end, like, you know, Brad Pitt. Let's not forget. I mean, a great performance by Brad Pitt. And who was Brad Pitt's adopted mother? That actress. She was in Hidden Figures.
Oh, Hidden Figures. Was it? What's her name? She's got like a real cool name.
She's in not Atlanta.
Oh, is it? What's her name? Tajari P. Henson. Was
that's
that her?
That's her.
Was she in it?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's her. She plays as Benjamin's mum.
Oh, I thought you meant the other one, Octavia something. But it was Tajari P. Henson, yeah.
She plays his mum.
Oh, I didn't. Do you know what? I didn't. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
I thought she was
good.
She was really, really good in that film.
Yeah.
And as a piece of filmmaking, and like obviously like special effects and everything, it is really cool, isn't it? It's good. I love it. And also a big shout out to what's his name from Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
Guy Ritchie, Vinnie Jones,
the actor who's in Guy Ritchie's films all the time.
Statham.
Fleming. Jason Fleming.
Who's that?
He's one of the other lot from Lock, Stock.
Is he? I can't picture his face.
He plays Brad Pitt's dad, real dad.
Okay, I can't picture his face.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But yeah, so you got all these characters in there, and you're right about it being this love story and him going off to war and everything and coming back.
It's mad, though. It's almost like I guess she turns from like I don't know. It's like looking for an old guy to being a cougar, isn't it? And then it gets to that stage where she's like, it's borderline. This is like, this is illegal. Then it gets, then it gets like worrying. You know. So. And
then it's like shit. We better not be seen in public.
Exactly. Grooming and all that kind of stuff, you know.
But that's basically what it's like. And next thing you know, it's bloody toddler, flipping, scrolling, wriggling around on the floor and everything. Okay, so that's Benjamin Button, and that's 10 years. Wow. Yeah. So if you haven't seen that movie, ladies and gents, check that out.
Check it out.
Okay, next up, I love these trilogies. So this is Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, and this is 2003.
Yep. 15 years ago. Imagine, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So it was Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Yeah. No.
No.
Twin Towers or the Two Towers.
The Two Towers, and then it was The Return of the King.
Yeah.
There's a bit in this film which always stuck by me. There's a battle scene. So Frodo and Samwise Gamgee, they're in the heart of Helm's Deep. Is it Helm's Deep?
Yeah.
About to throw the kind of the ring in, and then they cut to
Mordor. You mean?
Sorry, Mordor.
Mordor. Okay,
yeah. Helm's Deep. What's Helm's Deep?
I think Helm's Deep was one of the sort of the fortified kind of castle kind of places.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and then it cuts to Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
And he's got the with his army there. There's Gandalf the White there and everything like that, right? And then he's got the sword there. He turns around and then he goes for Frodo.
Yeah.
And then they go charging in there. I love that. I was just brilliant, man.
He should be like a brother of the Night's Watch, Viggo Mortensen. Can you imagine?
He would have looked
Commander.
out.
He can be the Lord Commander.
That's
he will father no children.
That's that guy. That guy when they got
Craster's Keep. I love that name. Oh my god! If I the next place I get, I'm rubbing off the house name. I'm calling it Craster's Keep. I'm going to Craster's Keep.
That is brilliant, man. So
Heavy.
yeah, oh wow, so 2003. Okay.
Yeah. Great film. I mean,
It is a
another
great
one of
film.
those films that comes on TV. If you're flicking, the flicking stops. You watch that film to
You
the
watch
end.
it, exactly. And let's not forget, there was a theatrical version. Then there was the director's version.
Oh yeah.
So all in all, like I think the theatrical version was like 2 hours 45, but there's a 3 hour something cut of that movie.
Gordon
all in
Bennett.
all, it's over 12 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Those films.
Yeah.
So
A good day's worth there.
Exactly. All right. So what else have we got?
Yeah, we got 1998. Blade.
Oh, yeah, Blade. What a
Blade.
film! I loved Blade. I love it.
Like Blade 1. I mean, people say the Marvel Cinematic Universe, obviously started properly 10 years after that, 2008.
Yeah.
But there were some good, solid Marvel films that came before it.
And
Blade
is
was one of them.
Great example.
Wesley Snipes.
I think at his best, right?
Yeah. He owned it.
Yeah, he was big in the 90s. He was big.
You got jungle fever. I got jungle fever.
You're absolutely right. I mean, this guy was... And then
Demolition Man.
Oh, man, look. And he was... that was his peak, actually. Where he was this big action star. He was in the Spike Lee films.
Yeah.
He could do the kind of the drama as well. Like White Men Can't Jump,
Passenger
the comedy.
57.
Passenger, always bet on...
Black.
Exactly. So you got, this big, huge action star, and then he turns up as Blade. And I thought he played it really well.
Yeah.
And, there was Chris Christopherson. And then I really liked the second one.
Yeah.
I really liked the second one.
Yeah.
Action packed
Love
all the way
one.
through.
Yeah.
And then the third one, it just kind of...
Nah, I went down.
Yeah.
Channel 5
the bottom
film.
fell out of it.
Yeah. Didn't like the third one.
And Ryan Reynolds couldn't save it.
Nah. And Triple H was in it as well.
Oh my God.
Triple H.
And then they turned it into a TV show. That didn't save it.
Yeah.
There were rumors that maybe there's going to be a Blade come back in, but I don't know. So, but who owns that now? Who owns that? Is that back with Marvel or?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Because New Line Cinema, they're the ones who released Blade.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day. So
I'm sure the rights would have switched hands by now if no film has been made for like ages. Because I think Blade 3 was 2007, I think, or something like that.
2007.
Or 2005 or ages ago. So
who was the villain?
It was the guy from Prison Break in Blade 3. Dominic Purcell. He's also in Legends of Tomorrow.
That is it. And who was the villain in the first one?
The first one was what's his name? Michael Dorff or Stephen Dorff?
Stephen Dorff.
That's the guy. Yeah.
He wasn't the first vampire though, wasn't he?
I don't think so. I don't know. The first vampire in the Blade world, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, like
I don't.
Oh no, that was Dominic. That was Dominic Purcell.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah. And then the second one, it was the guy from Bros. I forgot his name.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, he was the second, but I like the second one. The second
one's really good. Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro, wasn't it?
Oh, how can we forget that?
Gangster.
This guy. Yeah. Hellboy.
Yeah.
The Shape of Water.
Yeah, which is like what's his name? The real Cable's in it.
Perlman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, so what else have we got?
So 25 years. Super Mario.
Oh my, Super Mario.
Super Mario Brothers.
And this is Bob Hoskins.
And Leguizamo.
Yeah. This was, I remember this when it came out, and it was like a huge flop.
Yeah, it was a flop.
It was
a flop.
But what I liked was that they even back then, they were attempting to bring the gaming world into the film world.
Yeah.
Obviously, the results weren't that great, but I mean, as a piece of fun,
it was fun. Yeah, and they were in costume and all that. Red and the green,
Luigi and
Mario. Yeah, and I don't know if Princess Leia was in it, but I know they had the Koopa Troopers or them soldier things with the little heads. That always weirded me out. Them big bodies and them little heads. Yeah, that was kind of weird. And then Dennis Hopper was the baddie, wasn't he?
Oh my god, Dennis Hopper! Jeez. God, look, I mean, 25 years ago, I remember, I think I saw it once and it was just like, okay, I'm not too fast about this one. Okay, so Super Mario Bros., that was at 1993, and you put this down here, and I thought...
30 years, yeah. Welcome to the party, pal.
How is this even possible?
Yeah, man.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yep.
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Oh,
the Nakatomi Plaza.
Nakatomi Plaza. Oh my
Every time
God.
I hear that name now, I think of that building, you know.
Exactly. And let's break it down. Obviously, Bruce Willis,
Yeah.
he had just come off of a TV show called Moonlighting.
Yeah.
So this comedy actor, I remember this at the time, David Addison is going to play like, you know, this cop and everything. Nah, this ain't going to work. But he pulled off the movie and everything is just all on his shoulders, right?
Yeah.
Alan Rickman, brilliant villain.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and you had like, you know, other characters. I mean, who else was big in there?
I can't remember if anyone else big
I
was
think
in
it's just
there.
those two, really.
Yeah, but the other characters were great. You had that, obviously his wife with the massive hair.
You could hide things in there. It's like, you know.
Proper 80s hair. And then
Exactly.
you had like the backstabbing kind of salesman who is in a lot of 80s films. In Aliens 2,
Yeah.
he's Burke. He tries to sell them out and the alien gets him in the corridor.
Absolutely.
That character always exists. I love
Exactly.
those characters.
I
And
know.
he tries to make these deals and the baddie can see he's a bullshitter.
Exactly.
And he thinks he can get out of it, but
Gets
he
himself
doesn't.
killed and, like, you know, one of those
and
guys.
You have the stereotypical that Asian guy with the machine gun, and he's like in every he's in every kind of film with a machine gun. And
Every film from the 80s that he's there.
Yeah,
like,
he's
you know,
there shooting
there
his
and he
hair
gets
popping
involved.
up and
Oh, gosh. That was a huge hit.
yeah.
And you know what? I mean, it was based on a novel.
Oh, is it? Oh,
It's actually based on a novel, and they took that story and they ran with it. And I'm not sure if you remember this, but after Die Hard, all the action films that came after it, people were describing them as, for example, like Under Siege, it's Die Hard on a ship.
Oh, okay.
Passenger 57, Die Hard on a plane.
Yeah.
That became the way to describe a film. And if you say Die Hard, like, you know, for example, in a car,
you know what you're
going to get.
Yeah.
It was that high octane action flick 80s and, like, you know, but brilliant one-liners in there, great acting, and funny as well.
Yeah, in parts it was.
It was, wasn't it?
You kind of felt for the character because he was a guy just, you know, trying to do his job. I think it was Christmas then or not? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But he's obviously had a bit of beef with his wife, and you know, I think he's just an average Joe of a cop.
Average Joe,
who he was called upon to be a hero, and it was a reluctant hero in a way.
Yeah.
But he stood up to it with his bare feet. You know.
I know.
And then also there's that, oh man, even to this day, if I go in the lift, I look up and check, is there a little hatch?
Can you,
am I
like, you know...
Am I going to have to go die hard on this and go through the hatch and, you know,
I tell you what,
smuggle around?
That is a classic film. And there's a big debate. If you go online, there's a big debate where people, they argue, is Die Hard a Christmas film? Yes or no? I mean, for me, it's a Christmas film.
Every Christmas is on telly.
I know. But there's a whole group of people out there like, no, it's not a Christmas film. But it is a Christmas film. And even the fact is, Die Hard 2, they shift it to, I can't remember where they shift the location, but it's during Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas film.
Yeah, it is.
So great shout out there for Die Hard. Okay, brilliant. So now we'd like to move on to our review section. And today we've got a couple of films that we want to review and a TV show. So first of all, I thought we could mention Ocean's 8. And you and I, we've both seen this film.
Yeah.
And Ocean's 8, what were you... When you heard about this, were you kind of like eager, or were you like, oh God, no, I don't really need another Ocean's movie?
To be honest, I wasn't eager to see it. I mean, the original Ocean's films were great.
Yeah.
Even I've seen some TV shows that have come on, like The Hustle and so on, that kind of reminds me of Oceans and stuff and so on. But I thought, okay, this could be another fun film. But then I realised, obviously, it's a different film because I think it's an all-female cast.
Sure.
And I'm not sure what the reason is behind that, but it is, and it's cool. I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't in a rush to see it.
Totally.
But yeah, I knew I would see it just to see what would happen.
So Ocean's 8 is, you could say it is a continuation of Ocean's 11, 12 and 13, but with, I mean, it obviously it takes the name Ocean. So we have Sandra Bullock. She is Danny Ocean's sister in this film.
Yeah.
And I was like, are there going to be cameos? And we'll speak about the cameos in a bit. You know, will we see George Clooney? But early on in the film, this isn't a spoiler or anything. Danny Ocean, he's dead.
Yeah.
It's just like, They totally have just closed the chapter on that whole thing over there, which I thought was really interesting, which I thought was kind of, okay, this is bold.
Yeah.
They're never going to make, like, you know, get all those group of guys together.
But saying that, do you know what?
Could they?
I don't think he's dead, you know?
You know what? This is it.
He's a trickster. Yeah, he's a trickster in true form.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest tricksters in the world will convince you that they're not there.
Exactly.
Or they're there, and it's the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't think he's dead.
Yeah. So there was this whole little thing that I was like, is he really dead? And I was like, and throughout this film, I was thinking, no, he can't be dead. Okay, so we've got Sandra Bullock, we've got Kate Blanchett, we've got Rihanna, we've got Mindy Kaling,
a few other people.
We've got a few other people.
They're all good though. They're all good.
They're all great actors, and the film does keep a lot of the vibe from Ocean's 11, 12 and 13.
Yeah.
You know, it's clicky, it's kind of moves in a fast pace, and you know, that dialogue, the way in the music, the way it all kind of carries forward.
I would say though, it hasn't got the same kind of, is it Soderbergh? Yeah, it hasn't got the. I understand what you're saying about the pace and the clickiness and the fresh kind of dynamic vibe and that, but I don't think it has the same level of Soderberghness as a couple of the other ones did. But it does try to, you know, recreate that.
Exactly.
But, you know, it's cool.
Yeah, you do kind of get that cool vibe, like, oh right, okay, so we're learning about these characters. We're learning about how they're going to be recruited to do a big job, because let's face it, it won't be an Ocean's movie if there's not a job.
Exactly.
So Sandra Bullock, she's in prison. She gets released out of prison, and it was quite funny because when I was watching this, and I laughed, and a lot of people in the audience laughed as well. One of the actors in the film says, "So, what are you going to do when you get out?" And she's like, "Look, I'm never gonna associate with my criminal past. I'm gonna stay away from that. I just want to get a regular job. I just want to earn my money and live a quiet life." Cut to, she's out, she's sassy, she's like, she goes into like a big like superstore, she like, you know, she swindles like a few people, and you know what, we know exactly what her game is. Bullshit. What she's going to be doing. Straight to it. And that kind of reminded me of the Ocean's films as well. Like, you know, Danny Ocean, he gets the crew together. Sandra Bullock, she's getting the crew together, so she gets the help of Kate Blanchett, like I mentioned, and, you know, all these other people. So now, as a film, does it work? I think it does. Okay. You know, you've got a whole new host of actors. They are taking the story forward, and we're seeing it in a different perspective. And we're looking at it from a female's point of view. And there's a line in the film with Sandra Bullock. She says, she's looking in the mirror, she's doing her makeup, and she's like, "Ladies, this is for that little girl who's in America, who's a 12-year-old girl who's dreaming of growing up to become a thief." Like, you know, I just thought the way they kind of play on that whole kind of role, you know, it doesn't always have to be the guys who are the thieves. I found it interesting in that regards. There's a point in the movie where I thought, okay, it loses, the tone of it changes, and that is the introduction of what's his name, James Corden. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. And he's James Corden. That's why he even chats like him. He chats like he's on his blimmin' show. What's he doing there? It's like he just took me out of it. I was like, "What are you doing there, mate? Absolutely, you're chatting like you're on your show, interviewing someone. Like, at least change up something." But he's just himself in the show. And I thought, nah, what's going on, mate? You're absolutely right, Devout. I mean, so he comes along. I mean, he's funny, right? He is funny. But then I just thought, hang on, this is a bit weird. It's like the way that the tonally is just kind of changed a bit. Is James Corden doing James Corden? Exactly. Like, you know, and that bit kind of didn't really fit in there. Are we going to see more of these films? I'm not sure. I mean, judging on the box office, if it does as well as it's looking like it's doing, then I think it will. But for me, like, I agree with a lot of what you said. I don't think the only parts I sort of think about this film, one, it's all female cast, and it's great, but I kind of feel like sometimes it's like it's shoved in your face for maybe no reason. I mean, I respect females anyway. I male, female, I don't care. Give me someone who's strong, great character. I don't care what they are, but. There's a part where they were looking for someone to help or something, and Kate Blanchett said, "Oh, what about this person?" She's like, "Oh no, he's a guy." And it's like, so what if he's a guy? If he's good at his job, let him do it. Equal opportunities both ways, mate. You know what I mean? Actually, I remember that scene.
Apart from that, I mean, the fact that, you know, a bit of it was sort of the whole female cast was kind of thrown at us for a reason that I don't think. Well, maybe I'm thinking because I'm not ever sexist in any way, so maybe I'm thinking where's this coming from? But I guess for the wider picture, I can see where why it's there. To give the audience that perspective that they've never really had.
Yeah.
They've never had a massive female cast before, which maybe that's why they're doing it. So that's that cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Another thing that I don't know.
No.
It's like, I think, okay, so, I don't know, it's just me, yeah. Okay, we need films, we need entertainment, yeah. But isn't this teaching people you should go out and steal? I mean, come on, she's just been in jail, yeah, for doing something wrong. Yeah. She's come out and she wants to go and steal this multi-million pound
straight away
necklace from Cartier. What's Cartier done to her? Okay, I'll get it, yeah, if maybe the company that they were stealing from are morally and ethically wrong, and there's something within that company's background. The diamonds are blood diamonds or something. Yeah. That way the audience can be like, yeah, you get them. Yeah. But they're stealing from people that so far to us have done nothing wrong. So they're stealing from the shopkeeper. He's gonna lose his job. This the bodyguard's gonna lose their job. I mean, they're crooks. Why am I rooting for them?
Absolutely. You know
why
what?
am I rooting for them? They're bad.
This is why I love this analysis. I didn't even think of it this way. And you know what? On the topic of that, I didn't buy. There's one thing that this film hinges on. This job working out hinges on this one character being on board. And I just did not buy it.
Okay, yeah. There's no reason for her. Yeah,
I just did not buy it. And ladies and gentlemen, when you watch the film, you might come across the same thing, and you might think, well, okay, hang on a second. So this job only works if that person is on board. But why would they be on board?
Yeah, exactly.
If who they are, is who they are.
Yeah.
So sorry for being so cryptic. We don't want to give anything away. But watch the film, come back, and let us know if you agree with us or not.
Yeah.
So that was a misstep. The James Corden thing was a misstep.
Yeah.
But go on. Sorry, carry on.
No, I was just saying, just a few missteps that I feel took the film a bit, lower than I would have liked. But overall, it was an enjoyable experience. It wasn't anything majorly great, anything like I would say to people, watch it.
Yeah.
It's a fun film. But I think apart from obviously the massive heist, nothing majorly went really, really wrong kind of thing. A few hiccups on the way, but
it was perfect.
Yeah, it's kind of like there wasn't anything majorly wrong that they had to, come back and try and solve. But it went kind of, smooth sailing pretty much. But it was a cool film. But I wouldn't see it again.
Yeah, there was a bit in there where Sandra Bullock, she goes to Mindy Kaling, her neighborhood. And I'm assuming in New York, there's a neighborhood just like you have everywhere, where you might have Chinatown, where you might have where there's a lot of Italians and blah blah blah. So she goes over to a place where there's all the Indians, right? Where the Asians, and because Mindy Kaling, she works as a diamond cleaner.
Oh yes, of course.
You know what? It was just so cringe.
It
was so cringe, right? And I was like, oh please, and there's a joke in there about like a wedding or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, guys,
Yeah, because I think her mum came to her and said, oh, you need to be better or something. That's why you're not married like your sister. And in the background, there's a picture of her sister at some,
it was
getting
just
married or something.
I know, it's just like, come on. Okay, I love a well-written character, but come on, make a bit of an effort to make this, I don't know. Well, anyway, look, a couple of missteps, but it is. Look, we need films like this, right? Because people need to see different perspectives, and at the moment, we're only just seeing male perspectives. Films are written by men. Yeah, majority of films are acted by men and stuff. So, you know what? It's great that we are seeing this, but bring something really interesting to the table. Yeah,
that's true. It's got to be interesting first, and then the rest can. Yeah, any other parts that need to be added to it can be added, but it's got to have a good foundation.
Don't just do it for the sake of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think we're both in agreement on that one. Okay, so that was Ocean's 8. So ladies and gents, if you agree, disagree with what we've just said, please let us know on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Show us an angry face. I don't know. Show us a happy face. I don't know. Just get in touch. Okay, so the next film that I'd love to speak about is a Netflix exclusive, Deval.
Oh.
Okay, so this is a Netflix exclusive, and it's called Caliber.
Oh wow! Look, he's holding his book out and everything. Guys, if you can see this,
I've written notes here, and like I've done a bit of research on this one. Okay, so
it's like a poet right now.
To be on. Okay, so Netflix exclusive, a film called Caliber, and it recently won the Michael Powell Award for Best British Feature Film at the Edinburgh Film Festival.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so this film it's going places, and rightly so. It's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Shut up! No way.
Duval. It's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No way. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Say no more. Say no more.
When do you get 100% on Rotten Tomatoes?
That's hard to get.
Unless only one person has seen it. I don't know. Just like, but I mean,
it's true.
Seriously,
it's true.
Yeah. So it's got 100% on Rotten Tomato. It's the feature film debut of Matt Palmer, and we're going to see a lot of this feature film debuts. Ari Aster directed Hereditary.
Oh yeah.
Feature film debut, and Matt Palmer, he's done short films before, but this is his feature film. And whilst I was watching the film, it had there were echoes of films like Deliverance, of Straw Dogs, of The Wicker Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you like those films, it's got the same type of vibe to it. Edited by a guy called Chris Wyatt, and I'll tell you the reason why this is important. Chris Wyatt, he directed some of my favorite films. He directed Dead Man's Shoes.
Okay.
He directed 71.
Okay. Yeah.
And he directed another film. Oh, This Is England.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So okay. Shane Meadows. Okay. All right. So Caliber, set in Scotland. Two friends, they go out on a what's called a stalk. So a deer hunting, basically.
Okay.
So one of the friends is having a baby, leaves his wife or his partner at home, says goodbye, and says, "I love you. I don't really want to go, but I need to go for my pal."
Okay.
So they take this road trip into the Highlands, and they've known each other for donkey's years because they went to boarding school together, and you see the relationship because they stick up for each other. They like each other, obviously. They're really good friends. But the film slowly kind of draws you into something ominous. The way the camera lingers, the long shots, the slowly zooming in, you realize that, okay, something's not right or something bad is going to happen, because it's really eerie the way the film kind of starts off. So they arrive at their destination, and on the first night they meet a couple of girls. They get pissed. They have a right piss up, and the next day they go out hunting. Which in my mind, I'm thinking, if you've just had a night out on the lash, and you've got rifles,
that's not a good.
It's not a good sign, is it?
No.
It's not a good sign. And the way the film is edited and the way it's directed is kind of leading up to this, where you're drawn into the kind of drama.
Okay.
So they go out, they're in the car, they stop off, and they're having a laugh, they're joking, and next thing you know they spot a deer. And I've just got to ask you, could you do it?
What, shoot a deer?
Yeah.
Nah.
Whilst I was watching this film, I was like, shit, could I actually do this? Could I go ahead and do this? And there's a line in the film where the guy who's he's going to be a father, he's like, look, I can't do it. I can't do it because it's just not me. And his friend turns around and says, look, it's survival of the fittest. You got to do it. Hands him the rifle. He's aiming. And from that point onwards, things go bad.
Oh, shit.
Things go bad. So I'm totally not going to say what happens. However, they need to get out of Dodge, and they need to get out of Dodge really, really quick. Okay. And the film unfolds from that point onwards. There's something happens where they can't immediately go. They're stuck in the place. They need to get the hell out, but they're stuck in that place. They meet other characters who ask them to stay behind. They end up staying in the place, but they need to get out of there. And slowly, the longer that they stay in that place, a secret is going to come out.
Okay.
And, you know, it easily could have become a cliched ridden film where, oh, that happens and you know exactly what I didn't know what was going to happen. And it was quite tense because I was expecting the film to be predictable.
Yeah.
And I love it that I couldn't predict what the ending was going to be. And I was so glad that I couldn't predict it. So it's very atmospheric. The two lead characters are, I haven't seen them in anything before. So to me, they're kind of like new actors.
Okay.
I'm not saying that I've seen everything out there, but I'm sure they have been in other stuff, but they were really, really good. A really great, solid performance from those two, and directing and editing were top notch because it really draws you into this kind of story about, you know, you got two people from the city, they're coming into this local town. And when I mean local, like really local, like almost hillbilly type.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
yeah.
you can almost imagine it being like a hillbilly type. And what I loved about it was that it was two Scottish people entering like the local kind of like Scottish. So it's almost like, although they're Scottish, they're still seen as outsiders.
Okay. Because they go to real Scotland, yeah? Like
this is real, like real Scotland, where it's like snow and where it's like freezing cold. And, you know, the way that the kind of the director has lit the scenes up, it's really kind of bleak, you know, night light. You've got kind of minimal lighting. You've got this kind of, I don't know, it is almost like survival. Out there, you got nothing. And the only thing that you can do is just survive on nature, whatever you got.
Okay.
They're really desperate. There's a whole theme in the film, running through the film, about, you know, these local towns, these local villages, wherever they are, they need investment. You know, they need money. But then there's also backlash because they don't want outsiders to come in.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was a really cracking feature debut film by the director, and it's definitely worth a watch. It's 100% on Rotten Tomato. Whether or not that means anything to you,
it means a lot. Yeah, of course.
But I would definitely go out and watch it. And obviously the final scene,
ooh, don't spoil it for me,
is just worth it alone.
Oh, okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, go track it down. It's on Netflix. It was released like a few days ago. It's called Caliber, and you'll really enjoy it. And let us know what you think about it.
I'll let you know next week. I'm going to watch it this week, and I will let you know. I will let you know.
So what else are we going to review?
So that takes us to our Luke Cage so far review. So I'm not going to spoil it. I've seen, and the reason why I say so far, because I actually haven't finished it. I'm on the last episode. I think I'm about halfway through the last episode. But Luke Cage, I mean, season 2. If you've seen Luke Cage season 1, which I know you have, yes. Amar, I have as well. And this, for me, is actually better. In some ways, it's better for me anyway. I don't know what everyone else thinks, but I'm really liking Luke Cage too. I mean, we all know Luke Cage, character, bulletproof skin. His Marvel came about 1971. Heroes for Hire issue 1 came about, and Luke Cage was, I guess, a result of the sort of blaxploitation era in America, and so I mean, blaxploitation in America it's a term that was coined actually by the National Association of Advancements for Colored People in America.
God,
it's an organization that looked to protect and advance people of color in America, and this was formed many years ago. And that blaxploitation, as in black exploitation, put together, was coined for movies and people and the image in that era. So Luke Cage, Marvel saw that and thought, okay, let's make a character that can, I guess reflect this. Luke Cage came about, the protector of Harlem. Great character, has a good ethos. He wants to do right by his people. So Luke Cage on Netflix, great character. Season 1, I think, was really good. It set the tone, set the character. It let us know who he was, what he was about. Really good. The villains were compelling. We had the guy from Moonlighting. So is it
Moonlight.
Yeah. Moonlight is from Bruce Willis, isn't it? Yeah. Moonlight. And also Remy Denton from House of Cards. Gangster.
Oh yeah.
Marsha Halal Ali. I can't never say his name right.
Marsha Ali, yeah.
That's it, yeah. So season 2. Oh man, season 2. Luke Cage is gangster again. So he's more at home with his powers. You know, people know who he is.
Yeah.
He's a force to be reckoned with.
Yep.
You know, like literally he's famous in Harlem. People got t-shirts. There's a guy that selling t-shirts with his name on it and stuff like that. He walks through Harlem, all heads turn.
People taking selfies.
Yeah, he's the one. There's even an app. I forgot what it's called.
It's
called
follow
something Luke Cage. So when you see Luke Cage in Harlem, you tag, and then you
can
know
see where Luke Cage is.
Exactly. So you can find him. Villains included as well. So Luke Cage. So the characters. So Luke Cage, his character's evolved. The villain. The character from season 1, the lady, she took over.
Damn it! What was her name?
Her name is Mariah.
That's Mariah
Stokes.
And Shades.
And Shades, yeah, another shady character. They're both still in it. And this season we have the introduction of Bushmaster, who's a Jamaican character. Do you know what the Jamaicans in season 2? They're wicked.
There's one thing I've got to tell you. There's one thing that I've got to ask.
The Jamaicans, you know.
Just one thing that I've got to say to you. There's a bit in the film, right, where Mariah, she sat down in her office and she's got a like a Latino guy there.
Yeah.
There's another like who's in control of
like
maybe
a Korean guy. I think the Korean, the Latino, the Jamaican. And I think someone else, like Italian or something.
So she says to the Latin guy, right, okay, give me your proposal. Yeah. So he does that. Then the Korean guy, what's your proposal?
Yeah.
And then Mariah, she turns around to the Jamaican guy and she goes, Wagwan.
I know. There's so much of that. The language. It's like, because I grew up around a lot of Jamaicans when I was younger, and I'm used to hearing that language and hearing it on a Marvel, a Hollywood, TV show. It's like, I'm thinking, hold on a second, like they've got it so right. I mean, I'm not originally Jamaican, so probably it doesn't sound as authentic, but to me it sounds okay. I just love the fact that we're getting a lot more flavour in films and and TV shows and so on. We had obviously Wakanda. In Black Panther, we had language, different language and so on, and now we're getting a different dialect, which is great to see. And it's funny when obviously the Jamaicans speak that way, but it's funny when the like Mariah Stokes or Luke Cage or other people try and talk that way.
Yeah,
it's funny.
It is really good. There's one thing that I did want to say to you. There's a line that I'm gonna say to you, and I wrote this down right because I thought it was brilliant. There's a scene in the first episode. And one of the guys says, just because you're a woke superhero doesn't mean you have to be a broke superhero.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. Now, what in terms of kind of like Luke Cage, what does that mean? Like, what was the character referring to?
Yeah, because I mean, Luke Cage is a woke superhero. He's for the people, by the people. He's in Harlem. He wants to do the best for his people, and he wants to serve and protect his people in his hometown.
Yeah. So
he's woke as in he's doing it for the right reasons. He cares for his people, and that's really good.
Yeah.
But you never see money change hands. I don't know where he gets his money from.
Exactly.
Like he is broke. He's got no money. I don't know how he gets by. So I think that character's telling him you got to earn, and money is power. And later, I think Luke Cage realizes money is power.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go into any spoilers. So I'm not going to spoil stuff like that. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about, I guess, the evolution of the characters, the evolution of the story. I do like a compelling villain, and for me, the most compelling villain in this is Bushmaster.
Okay,
he's linked a lot to the Harlem history in the way Mariah Stokes, who's the sort of head honcho who owns Harlem's Paradise.
Right.
She was in season 1, her and Shades.
Yeah.
So Bushmaster is linked to her family.
Oh.
And so in a way, it's like there's a few villains in this, but the villains are never really black and white.
Okay.
So, even though they're villains, sometimes you think, hold on, I kind of root for this person. And I kind of like when a villain has layers. Like, a bit like maybe Killmonger and some other villains in movies where you think,
Sure.
okay, they're doing something
Thanos.
bad. Yeah, Thanos. They're doing something bad, but I can kind of see why they're doing it.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you a bit of mixed feelings, you know, kind
Yeah.
of confliction inside. So Luke Cage season 2 does really achieve that.
Do we understand why Bushmaster or Mariah are doing
Yes,
this?
we understand it all. And
Okay.
I'm not giving anything away.
Sure.
I want people to see it with a blank canvas, but you get, it's 13 episodes, and every episode, something happens to further develop a character or a situation.
Yeah.
So you're continuously being taken on a journey.
Yeah.
And I think they use the episodes really well.
There's one thing that I've got to just mention to you in terms of Luke Cage's power.
Yeah.
Have they changed the way that he, like, you know, his powers? Has he got
No.
more power? How are they doing it?
It's the same. I mean, Luke Cage as a character, he's a great character.
Yeah.
As the actor and how he comes across, I think he's a bit wooden. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I've not seen him in anything else, so I can't really fully say. Is it him have they told him to be wooden, or is it just the actor being wooden?
That's a good point.
As a character, he's really wooden. Like his acting and stuff is a bit kind of thing, and even his fight scenes, he's very stiff.
Oh,
and I'm not sure if
okay.
maybe that's just how they want him to look, but
Yeah.
compared to Bushmaster or anyone else that fights, they're fluid. But Luke Cage is stiff, and
Right.
I think to myself, you look kind of weak, but obviously he's not weak. But
Yeah.
the way he fights and stuff just doesn't really
Because
convince me.
wasn't there something in there about the Judas bullet?
Yeah. That was in season 1, and it may come up in season 2. Who knows?
Okay.
But yeah, so there's a bullet, Hammer Tech. So Justin Hammer from Iron Man.
From Iron Man?
Yeah, so he created someone. Well, he's got obviously strong weapons and so on, and someone in season 1 bought some of his bullets that are really strong.
Yeah.
And they named it the Judas bullet, but that bullet can penetrate Luke Cage's skin.
Yeah.
Or really, either it penetrates his skin or it really hurts him.
Right.
One of them, but that bullet, he doesn't like that bullet. So in season 1, that hurts him.
Yeah.
So we may see it again in season 2.
Okay.
But there's always something that can hurt Luke Cage. It's not easy, but someone obviously does achieve a way of fighting him, which
Yeah.
they do in season 2.
Right.
And you're gonna have to find out how that happens.
And tell me about the tone of it. Is it like more lighthearted? Is it kind of like darker? Like where do we stand on that?
Yeah, the tone and the feel. I mean, it is. I think this season they are more. The series, the production, everything about it. They're more. They acknowledge themselves a lot more. They understand who they are. They're more at one with themselves. So yeah, there are a few more, I think, lighter moments. There's even a few moments that I feel kind of break the fourth wall. There's a few moments. It's just a few where
Bit of Deadpool influence.
Kind of like that. Yeah. So there's a moment. It's not really a spoiler thing, but there's a moment where Luke Cage is talking with night nurse Claire Temple, who's played by what's her name. Rosario Dawson.
Rosario Dawson, yeah.
And they're having a chat about their strengths and weaknesses and who's important and stuff. And night nurse says to him, "Oh, I'm this and I'm that," and then he says to her, "Well, it's my show," or something like that. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like a subtle fourth wall break, because
Sure.
he says the way he's saying it to her is in the situation and it's relevant, but for the viewer it is his show. So it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like really subtle like that. But there are a couple of moments that are like that. So
Okay.
there are a few light moments where the show doesn't take themselves too
seriously.
in a really, really clever way, really
Okay.
subtle, but really worth it as well.
Yeah.
Through just like general conversations, and there are certain looks that happen, and obviously the music in this is great. You got Ghostface Killer who's in it.
Wow.
Raekwon's in it. A few other performers that all perform at Harlem's
in
Paradise.
Mariah's, nightclub.
The nightclub scenes, music's always
Wicked.
great.
Yeah.
Always great. So
And I just want to add in there, we heard about this character in season 1, which was Luke Cage's father,
oh yeah.
and they were speaking. Remember Luke and his half brother. What was his half brother's name again?
Oh, what's his name? Oh, damn.
He had a
the guy he had a fight with.
the big fight scene at the
I can't
end,
remember his name, but he had that funny suit.
and that was where he was getting all his power and everything.
Yeah.
So their father is in season 2, right?
Yeah, and he's played by Reg something. He actually passed away in real life.
Oh shit! Really?
He played. He's in House of Cards. He plays the chef or the barbecue guy that barbecues for Kevin Spacey's character, and he was also in The Wire. He was in Fantastic Four, 2015 version. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, he passed away early this year, actually, in real life. So
yeah, there was a couple of things where there's a couple of things where I made a note, and the dad, there's a line which he says, Luke Cage is nothing but a man. So men are weak, they're subject to temptation, ego and vain. Bulletproof skin doesn't change nature. And I just thought that was kind of like really interesting, the fact that the Reverend is mentioning that. So does that have, this thing about temptation, this thing about, okay, he's got bulletproof skin, but he's still just a man. Does that come out into the season?
It's a subtle seed that will blossom later in the show. And I mean, Luke Cage season 2, I think for me it's about 3 things. It's about family. There's a lot of family going on in this season.
Okay.
Across the characters and all intertwined. It's about characters, how the characters themselves deal with their situations.
Yeah.
It's about the light and the dark side as well to those characters, because people like Luke Cage are tested. And Luke Cage, we all know is a wholesome character. He's woke. He wants to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes to do the right thing, you got to do the wrong thing.
Yep.
And he is tested in that in a few ways, and it does show up. The challenges do reveal themselves, and he does pay the price.
And the thing what you just mentioned there about tested, there's a scene in there in the first episode where you got Luke Cage's dad. He's like a pastor or he's like a reverend or something, and he's looking in the mirror and he's reciting this speech and everything. And the test that it was almost biblical, there's got to be a sacrifice somewhere.
Yeah.
And I got the feeling that Luke Cage is going to be tested, and he is going to have to sacrifice something.
Yeah. Spot on.
Yeah,
spot on.
And that's what I got from watching the first episode.
So they set things up well. They know, like I say, the show knows itself. It's second season.
Yeah.
The same showrunners as the first season, so they're more experienced. Lucy Liu directed the first episode.
What? Lucy
Liu directed the first episode.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Mad.
So, gangster.
That's brilliant.
Gangster.
So what I mean is that like a conscious decision? Like, I know that Marvel, they want to bring more female writers, directors on board, and do you think that this is going to help shows like this? Yeah,
I mean, this show, the showrunner, his name always eludes me. He's got like a 3-word name, but I think he was a showrunner for what was that show with Gabrielle Union? Being Mary Jane, I believe, or one of those shows.
Okay.
And a lot of, I think the directors of this show, I think it's like 60-40 male to female. So quite a few female directors are on this, and writers as well. So it's, I think Marvel, and a lot of studios are trying to sort of be more inclusive, because things can't always be one-dimensional. You can't always get the male perspective. There are female characters like Mercedes Knight, the detective. She's a big character in this. She's female, and maybe to get the best representation of her, you may need a woman to write her. It's great. But
and can we just now? I'd just like to rewind a bit.
Yeah, sure.
I want to rewind back to season 1. Where obviously Luke Cage was getting used to his powers, and he was like learning about his brother, and he was learning about the whole this whole destruction in Harlem, the place where he grew up, and Big Papa passes away and everything, and he kind of takes on that mantle of looking after. So does Luke Cage season 2 take after? Does it follow immediately after season 1, or are we?
No,
where are we in the timeline?
Luke Cage season 2 follows immediately after Defenders.
Right. Okay.
Because Luke Cage season 1, he goes to prison.
Yep.
And Defenders, he's already come out of prison.
Right.
So this takes place just after the Defenders, and that will be dealt with. You will see.
Because that's what I want to know.
Okay. What do you want to know?
Like, well, you don't tell us all.
What do you want to know?
But so when you say it will be dealt with, do we find out How does it link in with Defenders?
There is mention of what happened in Defenders.
Okay.
In Luke Cage, there's one character actually I want to mention that is a really underplayed character.
Right.
But of all the Netflix Marvel shows, there's let me ask you, there's one character that's been in every single show. Like
Rosario Dawson.
No. Hold on. Okay, 2 characters. You're good. I forget who I'm sitting next to.
Oh, you're talking about
Let me see how good you are. Go on.
You're forgetting him. What's his name? Oh, either the lawyer or
who is he? You don't know his name. What is he? Like,
he's Daredevil's friend.
No, what friend? Is he a friend or a foe? Did I say his name? I just say his name. Yeah, he's not a big character, but
who the F?
Your brain. You're trying to think about it.
I thought no. It's like,
but Night Nurse. I think she has been in all of them. She's been in Jessica Jones,
and she was in Punisher, wasn't she? No.
Was she in Punisher? I don't know actually. I don't know if she was in Punisher. She might have been.
Yeah.
Did Punisher ever get injured?
You're talking about the reporter.
No.
Who?
I'm talking about Turk.
Oh my Lord. Turk is in, and Turk's brother was...
Who's his brother?
Remember, Turk's brother, they mention it as well. Turk's brother who gets killed.
Oh, is it? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I can't remember his name, but he gets killed in
one of them.
Yeah.
In Punisher or something. Oh, yeah. I can't remember. Okay, so...
But Turk's that wheeler dealer kind of guy.
He's always there. I know.
Anytime you need information, you go to Turk. And you just beat it out of him or something.
Yeah,
but he's in all of them. He's in this too. Yeah, crazy.
Okay, brilliant.
Crazy. But,
so, in terms of other characters that we see, do we see...
Any Defenders?
Do we see Iron Fist?
I don't know. I ain't seen him yet.
Okay, because I thought there might have been this whole link up with the whole comics about them being the heroes for hire and, them, joining up and everything.
Oh, I guess you have to wait and see. I'm not going to say anything.
This guy, ladies and gents, his eyes aren't giving away anything.
I ain't saying nothing.
He's not giving away anything. Okay, so in terms, excuse me, so rating it in, I know, you shouldn't really do this, but like kind of giving like scores and things like that, but rating it in terms of the whole Marvel TV universe, where does it stand?
I think for me, with now season 2, I think for me Luke Cage is the best one.
Oh, brilliant.
Because before I was Daredevil. I like Daredevil a lot.
Yeah.
I do like Daredevil a lot. And in a way, if I really sit down and analyse it, there might be joint. Because Daredevil, we'll be on season 2's happened, isn't it, already?
Yeah. So
because season 2, with bringing in Punisher and all of that, I mean, that was wicked. I mean, the Daredevils are really good. So for me, they're quite level pegging. But Luke Cage, I mean, apart from his wooden style, which he's just a wooden guy, I don't understand it.
It's really interesting because there were a couple of scenes where I thought, oh, shouldn't he be a bit looser?
Yeah, and even his acting's a bit like he's just a bit wooden for me. A bit like how Keanu Reeves is meant to be wooden, but he still sort of does the job.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean the music, the whole 70s kind of blaxploitation kind of vibe, because there's a lot of the sort of the music, and I mean the guest stars like Ghostface Killer and that. I mean the background, the score and so on.
Yeah,
it's all from the era, the 70s, and even the mannerisms and the way they talk to each other, the way they the language and stuff. It's all from back then. Yeah, all from back then, and this show nails it. So for me, I mean, I don't know if you've seen a lot of these sort of blaxploitation parodies, like "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker," and what's the other one? Oh, there's a few, like even like Shaft and not parodies, but Shaft and Foxy Brown, and think of all those shows. Even what's her name? Beyonce in Goldmember. Yeah, so she herself, just her herself, the way she acts and so on. If you look at Misty Knight, and the way she acts and a lot of her dialogue and so on, it's kind of similar. Okay. So they nail it. And
in terms of the comics, is Luke Cage, is it still going on? Is it like still in publication?
He's not as big. I mean, after this, he probably will be a bit more popular, but he never was like a massive, apart from when he was first, it first came out in 1971, Heroes for Hire and so on. He was popular, then sort of gone up and down.
Right.
So he usually joins groups to really sell comics. So he joins Avengers, he's joined the Defenders, he's been Heroes for Hire, and he's usually part of a group, but him by himself hasn't been the most, you know.
There's a line in the first episode where Rosario Dawson, she says he gets up, he's got to go somewhere, and she's like, "Okay, Power Man." Yeah.
And that gets mentioned, Power Man,
yeah, exactly. So I just thought that was kind of like interesting, all these little bits and pieces.
And another little piece as well, you know, obviously him and Coffee. Yeah, so man, obviously we know in season 1 we need to get Coffee with Luke Cage. You know what time it is, yeah,
exactly.
And in this one, there's a few mentions of Coffee with people that you never suspect. And the look he gives them, and he's like, "Nah, it's okay," or whatever. And they're like, "You sure don't want no coffee?" And it's like, it's people that you will not expect. And for them, they really are talking about coffee. But his interpretation of what coffee means
is completely
something
different
else. He's like, no, sort of thing, you know?
So the relationship between Luke Cage and Rosario Dawson, Night Nurse, I mean, does that... is that expanded?
Yeah,
do we see more of that?
They're a couple. They're you know they're a bona fide couple from season 1.
Yeah,
they're together. Obviously, they have their challenges. Things happen, but the relationship has evolved.
Okay,
you know, and also his relationship with Misty Knight, that's strong as well. They obviously, you know, she's cop, he's vigilante.
Yeah,
but they respect each other. You know?
But they shared a coffee and
they had coffee.
They had good
coffee. You know,
they had a good.
I just prefer her coffee than
exactly
the Night Nurse. Yeah.
Oh no, actually, well, Night Nurse because the whole Latina thing.
Okay.
But he also shared. They had coffee. He had coffee with Jessica Jones.
He's had a lot of coffee. You know,
this guy
has a lot. He's had the most coffee in all of.
And that was probably the strongest coffee.
Yeah,
with Jessica Jones, right?
The strongest coffee. It's true.
Forget Colombian beans.
It broke the bed coffee, didn't it? It broke the bed coffee.
Oh god. Ladies and gentlemen, please watch season 1 of Jessica Jones.
Episode 1 or 2. It's early on.
So we've got to remind everyone that Luke Cage is actually starts off in Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
So we see a bit of him, his backstory. Is there a bit of backstory?
Not really. No, he just gets introduced and he just sort of comes and goes.
But we know that he's this big, powerful guy.
Yeah.
I do love how Marvel, you know, the TV have just interweaved and
in this as well. I mean, you're only 2 episodes in.
Yeah.
But there's more interweaving that I haven't spoken of that I don't want to spoil. But
what are we seeing? I can't wait. I'm gonna finish it. Like, and I'm watch at least about 4 or 5 episodes tonight.
A lot of interweaving.
Yeah. And what about, like, tell me a bit about, like, you know, the fight scenes, the action. Is there a lot of it, or is it mainly character driven?
Good. Yeah. And there's the fights not in every episode, but obviously there's a lot of shooting. He just sort of stands there and, you know, he's kind of dry. Bullets hit him and bounce off. But
and do they explain how he gets his power, or how he got his power?
No, that's already been done from season 1, so that doesn't really get touched. Can you remember that experiment in prison in Seagate when Shades and another guy beat him up almost to death, and that doctor experimented on him and he got his powers. So that's explained. I think they do touch on it like on one occasion, but that's done. Yeah. So it's about we get introduced to Bushmaster and how he gets his powers and so on. But yeah, Bushmaster, I like him. I do like him.
So he's a well drawn character, like, you know, well written.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kind of angles to him.
Exactly. In a way, he's woke in a way as well.
Okay.
But he's like Freddy Krueger woke. He's kind of like nightmare woke. You know what I mean? He's woke in a nightmare. But you understand his nightmare. But the Jamaicans, they're funny, man. Everything about them, like, it's just wicked. And I like seeing them.
Without giving anything away, is Shade still in it?
Is
he like, and Maria as well?
Yeah, Shades, Mariah, her whole cartel. They're all in it.
Yeah.
So there's more diversity within the villains and the organizational crime and so on.
Yeah.
There's a lot more going on.
And do we know, like, when are we going to get another Defenders? Do we have? Is this all going to lead into something else?
I should think so. I've not done the end yet, so I don't know how it's going to sort of get left and so on. But I should think so. Yeah, the way it is so far, I can already see what could be happening in season 3 if what's happening so far is, you know, if I'm right in what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But season 3, I can see, where they could go with that.
Here's an interesting question. Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah.
Is this before or
doesn't
there's
play
no
into
mention.
There's no mention.
There's no
all.
mention of it. So the Snapchat doesn't.
No mention, and I knew that before because they did mention that they're not going to interweave the movies with the TV shows and with the network with the Netflix shows anymore.
Right.
It's just too much headache for them to make it all
to write, fit it all in and stuff like that.
They're going to leave it. I remember in a lot of season 1s of the Netflix shows, there was a lot of mention of like the Battle of New York and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly. So, but they're going to leave it alone now.
Okay, all right, which makes sense, doesn't it? Because otherwise, it's just
too much headache.
So,
too much headache.
It's a
worthy show. I'll definitely give it a solid 8.5. I'd say 8.5. I'll give it.
Yeah.
Good show.
So I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch. So like I've said before, I've seen a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch at least about 4 episodes today.
Okay.
So
wow.
I'll be well and truly in it. Yeah. I mean, I've got to. I mean, I want to catch up and everything. So, I'll by tonight I would have had like a really good grasp of who the characters are and what they're aiming for and what their intentions are.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to learn more about Luke Cage's dad.
Okay. Yeah.
What is his angle? Because from what I've seen so far, he's a disciplinarian.
Yeah.
He's like, he tells it as it is.
Yeah.
He's looking to reach out, but Luke is kind of like pushing him away.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking to see kind of like, how that develops and whether or not he does he really want to reach out or does he want something different?
It's all about family. Season 2, all about family.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, brilliant. All right, so ladies and gents, those are our film reviews. We hope you enjoyed them. Our last section is Hidden Gems. Ooh. And I know, Deval, you've got some really great gems out there for us. Can you tell us which ones they are?
Sure thing. So, I think I got 4 hidden gems today, actually. But one hidden gem I thought I'd throw in there just to show some respect to Luke Cage. Yeah.
Which one's that?
Black Dynamite.
Oh.
Black Dynamite. It came out in 2009, and it's a blaxploitation kind of comedy film that sort of rips the shit out of all the blaxploitation films in the past and so on, and a parody, and it's starring Michael Jai White.
Spawn.
Spawn. Yeah, he's a black belt, blue belt, white belt. He's a kung fu master, literally. Yeah. And also got Arsenio Hall in it. A lot of the sort of actors that have been around the block in all these sorts of films.
Sure.
But it is a funny film. This film takes the piss out of itself.
Okay.
And all of the films that have come before it.
Yeah.
It is so funny. When I watched it, I was pissing myself.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
Black Dynamite. I've got it. I can give it to you if you like.
I want it.
It is a really good film, really funny film. It's like one of the sort of films you can watch with a group of people on a Saturday night. If you've got nowhere to go, watch it in your house. You will laugh.
Oh, wicked.
Honestly, Black Dynamite. You've got to see it. And then, so that's for Luke Cage. There you go. Peace. There you go. Sweet Christmas. All of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. There's one thing I forgot to mention to you. Sorry, before we... what's Black Lightning?
Black Lightning. DC.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And is that similar to...
no, he's I guess he's been around for a long time as well.
Right. Okay.
But his powers are more lightning oriented. He's kind of like, in a way, he could be kind of like the DC version of Luke Cage in a way.
Okay.
Because he's a very community based person. He's a teacher even.
Okay.
And he wants to do right by his people. So he's very woke as well. But,
okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. Because I haven't seen that one, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, watch
it's good
Black
as well.
Lightning."
It's on Netflix as well. It's good.
Okay.
He's got some nice daughter. One of his daughters is very nice.
Okay. I'll check it out. Yeah.
Okay, so these next 3 films, I've gone into a little time phase here.
Okay, keep talking.
The space and time kind of essence. So these 3 films, 3 hidden gems, are all to do with time travel. The first film I want to mention is guys, look, you get hidden gems from me every week, yeah? This film here is a hidden gem. Yeah, hidden.
A gem within a gem.
Exactly, a gem within a gem within a gem within a gem.
Oh,
it's hidden.
shit.
No one knows about this film. Yeah, I'm telling you about it now. It's called Time Crimes.
Just the name
is
is
a Spanish film. In Spanish, Los Cronos Crímenes. Sí,
muy bien.
Los Cronos Crímenes. Yeah, 2007 it came out. This film is heavy.
Okay.
Yeah, I told my friend, who's a regular listener of the show, Abby. Abby, shout out to you. Thanks for listening, for coming in. I told Abby about this film a few years ago. He loves time travel films. He never heard of it.
Me too.
He watched it. He loved it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got this film, right?
I've got this film. I will basically
You're
this film
it my way.
It's a time travel film that is so twisty and just the film starts where it ends. That's all I can say to you.
I
It's
love
crazy.
that.
The film's crazy. The film starts where it's just mad.
Okay.
So many things happen in this film.
Yeah.
The more the guy tries to fix things, it's time crimes. Yeah.
You got me at time.
That's it.
That is it. You had me at time.
It's
Seriously.
a great film. So I'll get it to you. Watch it, guys.
Okay.
You've got to watch it. I don't want to spoil it for you because these hidden gems are good films. I don't want to spoil anything for you.
Now, we can't get this on streaming, can we? Or what?
I've not seen it on streaming. It's such a hidden gem. It's hard to find.
Why
It's
don't
hard
they
to
have
find.
these films
I'm not
on
gonna lie, it's
streaming?
hard to find. I watched it years ago through like a Blockbuster video type stream,
Yeah.
like Love Film, when it was out years ago.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find. I'm not going to lie, but I can
Okay.
help you find it because I'm the hidden gem gardener.
Exactly.
So yeah, and then the second time travel hidden gem I have is Project Almanac. Have you heard of it? Have you seen it?
I've seen this one.
It's crazy,
It's
isn't
a
it?
really good film. I love it. And it's just like, if you were like a youngster,
Yeah,
what would you do if you found
Exactly.
the blueprints for a time machine?
exactly.
What would you do?
I think-
Okay, where would you? Okay, Devout, come on. Where would you go? Where's the first place that you?
Okay,
what time would you
they're
go
teenagers. As a teenager, I would want to go dinosaurs. I would want to see that dinosaurs. I want to go to the future, flying cars. I'd want to win the lottery. I'd want to do all the crazy things that I know I shouldn't do. That's the
Exactly.
first thing I'm going to do.
to? Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what these kids do.
Exactly.
They go. I remember there's a bit in there where they go to like or one of the guys wants to fall in love with one of the girls or
Yeah,
something. Is that
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And he
yeah.
goes back and they
Yeah.
go to like a rock festival
Yeah.
and stuff like that. All I know, from what I remember, is and I saw it when it came out around about that time, 2015. I had such a great time watching this film.
Yeah.
And it just made me think about, right, what would I do? Where would I
Yeah,
go? And
yeah.
who would I take with me and everything? And the way they mess up. And
Yeah.
you're right. Every single time they kept
Crazy.
going back,
Yeah.
something was
Yeah.
messed up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, ladies and gents, if you got the time, watch Project Almanac.
Yeah,
Okay.
great
What else
film.
have we got?
Okay, so the last hidden gem, time travel. I can see from your face. Predestination, starring Ethan Hawke, 2014.
Now,
So, yeah.
this one I have seen,
Yeah,
and I didn't see this coming.
me too. Yeah,
The ending, I just did not see this whole thing. How?
crazy.
And I saw it on, I think it was on Sky,
Okay,
right? So here in the UK, big company, Sky, showing all these films. And I don't remember this in cinema.
yeah, I think it was in the cinema, but I didn't have a big release.
No.
Yeah, didn't have a
I
big
don't remember
release.
it being on Netflix.
No,
So it came up on Sky, and as soon as it said time travel, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's it, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm watching it. Stars Ethan Hawke. I can't remember who the other players are.
I think Claire Foy, is that her name?
Claire Foy.
I think I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but yeah,
And so it starts off where he's got to travel back in time to stop
Yeah.
something from
he's
happening,
like a
right?
time agent, some sort of like time agent person,
And he's got to prevent
Yeah.
this one thing from happening or a couple of things from happening.
Yeah.
But each time, so it doesn't work, and then he's got to go back through a different time. But
Yeah.
he does something which changes things dramatically.
butterfly effects, isn't it?
Yeah. And the whole twist, ladies and gentlemen, oh my God,
Crazy.
you just won't see this
Also,
coming.
it's just like when you think of time travel, you think of some big elaborate machine. The time machine's like some in the violin case or something. It's
That was
crazy,
it.
and he walks around with it like it's nothing.
Yeah.
it's like it's such a underrated, low key, clever, stylistic film.
And you know what? I reckon that plays into the whole kind of budget as well. I don't probably
Exactly.
They
yeah.
probably didn't have the
Yeah.
budget to make.
He's
like
the main. I mean, apart from him, you don't really. Other people are great actors. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
it's not a big headline sort of cast, so
exactly.
the budget had to stretch.
If you had the opportunity to go back and see yourself, at what age would you see yourself?
Knowing what I know now, I would. Oh man, it'd have to be somewhere where, maybe like when I was 14 or something, or 15.
Yeah.
Maybe even younger, and just like be really good at football and just be a footballer or something,
like
or just
leave little messages here and there for yourself.
Or something. Just I'll want to change a moment in time where I did something that I didn't otherwise do.
Yeah.
But,
now,
but then again, saying that, I shouldn't do it, because then I'm gonna.
What if you? I was just about to say, what if that just dislodges
my fate? Yeah.
What if that dislodges everything? And oh man, it's a toughie.
See, I shouldn't go back, but you want to go back.
Oh man, it's one of those things. I wrestle with this thing. Would I go back, and would I, tell myself something?
Turn back time.
It's like, oh gosh, yeah. So, but definitely future. Okay, come on.
Yeah, flying cars.
Back to the
I don't
future.
know why we always think that.
I know. Well, it's going to happen soon, isn't it? So
oh wow, but there's some hidden gems. I mean, I hope you guys, do try and search them. If you can't find them, I will gladly let you know where to find them.
Yeah. So Time Crimes definitely, and for me, Time Crimes and Black Dynamite.
Okay. Yeah.
So those ones I want to kind of track down. And
exactly.
I'm gonna get off you. I think that's it.
Wow. How does time fly? Time. Maybe it's a time machine. Has it really been like 2 hours? It's been
about that. Yeah, it's been like 2 hours, ladies and gents. So I hope you enjoyed listening to our sweet dulcet tones. My co-star and star, actually, the star of the show, Duval.
Don't know about that.
Who's not an average Joe, may I just let you know.
What, you rapping now? Oh my gosh.
Oh, actually, I couldn't find anything to rap with after that. But listen, look, ladies and gents, so lots of things out there. Caliber, Ocean's 8, Luke Cage Season 2. There's hidden gems in there. Track these films down. Let us know what you think. And send us a review.
Yep.
Send us a review, because as a treat...
Yep. We've got the cinema code for you guys. It's actually exclusive to, at the moment, our UK listeners and viewers.
Sorry, our North American and South American and, well, actually, outside of Europe,
But yeah, send us a review, comment, just get in contact with us. Let us know what you think. Give us something to do, and we will reward you with a free cinema ticket to see a movie of your choice.
Yeah. And also, I've got to say a big shout out to one of our listeners, Paul.
Oh, Paul, yes.
Who gave us a challenge of watching Under the Skin.
Oh, yes, Under the Skin.
So Under the Skin. Yeah. So that's going to be our homework, to watch Under the Skin. I haven't seen this.
Okay.
This is Scarlett Johansson film.
Yeah, that's right.
So for Paul... Yep, we're definitely going to watch this one, and we'll kind of review it, and we'll dissect it. We've got Sicario as well to watch.
Oh, Soldado.
So we'll be reviewing that as well. And I think later on in July, there's going to be Mission Impossible 6.
Fallout.
Yep. So we'll definitely be taking a look at that. And there's I mean, every week there's going to be new stuff coming out.
Exactly.
So thanks for downloading the show. Thanks for supporting us. A big shout out to all those of you who've written to us on Twitter and on Facebook.
Yeah, thanks guys. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned. Stay locked in to the Flicksters. Peace out.